And so, you are all standing in the harbor of Agwe, on the river. Ships are just filing out, making their way south to the sea. You remember that there were just ships fleeing, tons of people leaving, scared, shaken, wounded. Your own crew, while none had lost their lives to the zombies, they were in rough shape as well. It's a very somber mood. And you are all amidst it, and you're in the throng of the harbor. What are you guys doing?
So I just got deck slapped. It says the Dark Lord, which, isn't ominous in any way whatsoever. Do you think that it means that weird devil lordy dark guy?
No, that would be too much of a coincidence.
How would
Must
you
be
know?
something else.
What does the card look like? What's the picture on it?
I'll turn it around and show them.
You see...
They're on the craft table.
Oh, yeah. You see...
They're set up for strong, but it's fine.
You see a spooky guy who looks like a Dark Lord. Why don't you guys keep talking while you do though?
And so, how would she possibly... Oh, because she's a fortune teller, and she's clairvoyant, so I guess that's how she would know that we made a deal with the devil. And why would she slap me in the face with it? Oh, maybe that's because we did a bad thing and we shouldn't have made a deal with the devil.
How does she keep doing that?
I honestly don't know. Some kind of weird magic, I think. Or she's friends with the wind.
Well, that's fucking scary.
Take a look.
So it looks like he's some kind of creepy old guy.
Can I see it? He looks really horny.
No. Well, wish I hadn't seen that.
Well, not to change the subject, so to speak, but we've got a bit of time to kill now between meeting Leaf and meeting with Madame Zofstra. I kind of anticipated going back to Gullhaven for a little bit, at least with Emiria, to make her journey easier. So, do we still want to try to contact the Admiral and see if she'd be willing to give our companions some safe travels? I know we had discussed potentially needing them, maybe you buying a new cart and getting Ramby over here on this wonderful plot of land, and we take Piccolo and Ramby for the next portion of our journey. We don't know how far we're going to have to go to chase this cup.
I mean, I'm worried that if we fail or they unleash their plan, this whole city could be destroyed.
Yeah, it's probably best not to kill Ramby too.
I mean, it'll take weeks for them to get here anyway.
Just enough time for Ramby to get here and die.
Couldn't we theoretically teleport back with them?
No.
That I don't know.
I believe it's medium creatures.
Right? Right. Well, you're right, actually.
I think it is.
They need to be sent down, certainly.
I mean, we have time. I figured, we may need them, especially if we need to leave at a moment's notice.
The captain of the ship, Captain
Isaacs?
Angry at everything all the time.
Oh,
he's nice.
Pretty even keel to me, yeah.
hang on.
Who? Captain Even-keeled? Do we have a second captain? Have I been talking to the mean one this whole time and we had a nice one?
No.
We'll check when we get back to the boat.
No, anyway, I was saying he has a way to contact her right away. He said he was going to do that and give her all the information about Alphonse and all that stuff, so I'm sure you could just say, by the way, send our goat.
Who has the goat?
You do. Ramby.
Alright. Well,
only if that's amenable. I just
He's
figured.
a morally large goat now that we're talking about it. How did
I'm
you
not a
make
fan
him
of
so
goats.
big?
I'm not a fan of goats.
That's not nice. I hope Ramby never hears you say that.
Oh, he's not a goat, luckily, so I won't have to
I
worry
hope
about that.
Ramby never hears you say that.
It's almost as if it's in the name.
What?
Ramby.
What is
I
it?
wasn't very creative when I was a lad.
I don't understand.
Never
It's
mind.
not like you named him Goat Bee. That would be horrific. Who would do something? That would be like me naming Lumi Pixie. Bee. Yeah. Lumi, your name's Pixie Bee.
Maybe we should head back
Or
towards the knight's
Bobby. What a
patience.
terrible name.
We can talk to Captain Isaacs
Nothing,
and
really.
waste some time until we have to do things that are relevant
I
to the
feel like
plot.
I'm wasting more than enough time right now.
That's
you don't
true,
need to go
that's
anywhere
true.
to do that.
How far away are we from the knight's patience? Are we like...
You guys are like across the harbor, so it'll take
not
you
far.
probably
Not very far.
Do the cards say tonight or tomorrow?
tomorrow night.
So we can still meet with Leaf from Vine
I
tonight.
agree. I think we should do that.
Yes. So let's get back to the Knight's Patience. Let's get a message out to Leaf from Vine, see if he is still going to have the meeting this evening, and we can tell Captain Isaacs to prepare passage or voyage for our mounts.
Alright, that sounds fine. Let's go. So we do that.
Okay.
We head back,
So as you're walking through the harbor, people are afraid they're leaving. You see a cart rattling with trinkets and knickknacks get pushed into the center of the harbor.
Do we recognize the man pushing the cart?
You do recognize the man, the gator man pushing the cart. He's wearing a ratty coat and a top hat. And you remember the sign saying Dr. Etouffee, and now it says beware vampires. And you see him calling out like, oh no, vampires in Agwe. If you need to protect yourself, I got all the things that you need. Vampires are in Agwe. They are vampires. He killed everybody. They are still here. I got what you need to protect yourself. Come here, Dr. Etouffee has the best prices.
Hi. I'm afraid of vampires. What do you have?
Darling, you should be afraid of vampires. Have you heard the news?
I'm gonna use minor illusion to give myself fangs.
See?
I'm not really one, see? I'm afraid of them. That's why you scare them away.
If he was a real vampire, you wouldn't be able to get within 50 feet of my car with all of my trinkets and items that are very reasonably priced.
Oh, that is so accurate and true.
Well...
What are you offering?
Who
are you?
I'm Dr. Etouffee. I believe I may have sold you some wonderful items. I never forget a face. Do I? You did buy some things from me, right?
We didn't actually.
No refunds. No refunds.
She
What?
did.
No, I haven't used it yet because I haven't needed it yet. But you gave me that scroll to summon demons.
Oh, you better be careful with that, darling.
Oh, we still have that?
Well, yeah, I didn't know when I should use it.
Huh.
We've been through hell since you
Almost
bought
literally.
it. Almost literally.
I use it. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, it's right here.
And I show that it's at my side.
Well, you better be careful with that. Those are some dark magics in there. It took me a very long time to get my scrolls of summon demon. Let me tell you, darling. Well, I have here that you want to be 100% protected. And he pulls off a large necklace made of just cloves of garlic. And he says, you wear one of these, there ain't no vampire that's going to bite into your neck.
Oh.
I promise you.
How much does that cost?
It's only 20 gold pieces.
Oh, good thing I'm not interested.
Well, no, and if you are worried about a vampire sneaking inside of you, I have...
What are you worried about?
No, they can do that.
Oh.
They can do that. No, you know how they're
How
like...
do they get in?
You know...
How do they get in? Where do they sneak in from? What door do they go in through? Can they get into your eyes? Do they go in through your holes?
Yes.
How do they get in?
All of your holes. Vampires can turn into tiny vampires.
Oh my god, no!
Vandris blushes and looks at Rodak and is like,
What do you do to protect them? How do you close off your holes from vampires?
Well, this is even more powerful.
Please don't be a garlic butt plug.
And it is for a mere 50 gold.
Yeah.
It is in this incredible silver container. And he reaches and he pulls out a cylindrical jar almost with a tight lid. And you can see that he says, this is garlic salt. And you can see that there's a label that's just been scratched off. You see the loose imprints of the true blue roux on it. And you remember metal garlic salt shakers on the tables for free. Suspiciously.
Well, that's definitely not what I expected. I suppose you're just supposed to eat it?
Yeah, you just mix it in your food and you'll be fine from more vampires getting inside. Or that, whatever you use a lot of it though. I sold a lot. I got a whole bunch of these things.
And for only 50 gold, what a steal!
That seems suspect.
Anything else?
Hold on. And he pulls out this bucket. He says, I got holy water right here.
Is that for your holes too?
Oh, Anthony,
No.
you're so smart.
I got it from a contact down the river. His name is Ahole. so it's holy water.
Oh.
And he's sure you just throw it at a vampire, he'll be running away, darling.
Did this man bless this water himself?
He gave it to me. I think he spit in
It's
it.
practically the same thing.
It's very
We
blessed.
get the experience of that.
I mean, you didn't spit in the water, though. That was...
No,
It was a little bit more
I
intimate.
touched it.
Believe it or not, it was more intimate than spitting in the water, but... Alright.
Well, just for your information, there are no more vampires in that way.
I don't know what you heard, Fran, but there are definitely vampires.
Well, I'm just letting you know you might want to diversify your portfolio.
I was just gonna say, what would you do if we could prove to you that there are no more vampires? Then
Well,
what-
I still got all my wares. I mean, you look like a gentleman who might enjoy a Ring of the Rooster.
A ring of the rooster, you say? Huh. Would you like to go into further detail?
He just reaches and he pulls out a thick circular ring.
How does this help against vampires?
Now this is more of a trial and error, friend. This isn't part of my vampire collection. I can't understand you, friend. You okay? You look like you really want this.
I'm not okay.
It's 15 gold pieces.
Well, again, I'm not sure how that would help you against vampires, but I think...
I have a wand of disintegration. It's got one charge.
To be fair, I did meet a very old wizard in my travels who probably had a ring just like that at one point. But that's a story for another day.
Wait, you said a ring of disintegration?
A wand of disintegration. Yeah, absolutely. It's got one charge.
Alphonse used against me, I think. I don't know if I would know that.
Yeah,
Can I
we
take
wouldn't
a
know
look?
that, would we?
Here you go, friend. And he pulls out this stick. It's got like some green coloring on it, and he hands it to you. It's very magical.
Now, while I don't think that that's going to do anything, maybe don't point that at anybody that you don't intend to disintegrate.
I'm pointing at the ground.
Practice one safety.
How does it work?
You point at it and you say disintegrate, and it disintegrates.
So what's stopping us from trying it right now? On you and taking all of your goods.
Well,
That's
you
a
wouldn't
pretty
do that
dangerous thing to
because
just hand over to someone.
you seem like good law-abiding folk.
It's a good thing we might be.
You're not gonna rob a poor little gator folk like me.
No, here you are. I don't know.
Thank you.
This is
Thank
all-
you.
I'm just letting you know you might want to just change your messaging a wee bit if you want to stay in business.
I also have the ring of fire detection.
Still.
And the orb of slow. I mean, I got a whole bunch of these fucking things.
I think I'm good. I appreciate your time and your wares, and good luck selling
if
that
you-
ring of the rooster.
If you need to detect vampires, though, and to be sure you see a guy with fangs, and he's wearing a funny cape, and you need to say, "Is he a vampire?" I got a couple of cats. And if they hiss at him, it's probably a vampire. You look back and you hear, and you see like a couple cats, just bought crates of cats.
All right, well, that's enough for me.
Thank you. Anyway, the best of luck, and hopefully you can stay in business for the foreseeable future.
Dr. Etouffee is not going to let a little bit of vampire business put him out of business.
Nope. All right.
Good day.
Well,
Turn.
I'll be here all day.
Can I buy that ring of the rooster from you?
Oh, you absolutely can, darling.
I'm gonna give him 15.
15 gold pieces.
No.
Well, pray tell, Sylvie, what do you intend to do with such a thing?
He hands you the ring.
Thanks. I don't see any roosters in here at all.
No refunds. Goodbye. Have a wonderful day.
No, don't spit on it.
Make a perception check. Make a perception check for her.
Natural one. Sylvia now has eye.
It doesn't smell funny at all.
No. Jeez.
Don't turn too big!
I don't smell it.
I wonder if that only shows invisible roosters.
And I pulled away. My eye is now really pink and swollen.
It's covered in sores.
It's disgusting.
Oh, that was quick!
Anyway. Let's...
Alright.
Can I have some of your water?
Yeah, we go back to the...
So you all arrive at the Knight's Patience. The crew is now all patched up. They seem in much better spirits. It seems as if, like, the horrors of the previous evening has... They finally accepted that the zombies are all dead. You see, however, they're still on high alert in case any more shamble up to the ship or the district. And you're all in the galley or wherever you'd like to be.
How does our snake eyes thing work? So if we've used our spells, I'm just confused.
So
the dice.
You roll the dice.
I still have my charge.
Yeah, so you roll the dice, and whatever it rolls determines a spell that you can then use for 7 days. And then you're not able to use the dice again until you... you're able to cast it for 7 days, and you're able to use the dice again in 7 days.
So use it or lose it.
Yes.
In 7 days, we can re-roll the dice.
Yep.
And then how does the whole collecting natural ones work?
Every time you roll a natural critically fail, it just charges the bad luck. It takes your
For
bad
attacks.
luck and it charges. And so whenever you choose it, whoever has it can use an action to throw up the dice, and it blasts 2 points of force damage for every one natural one, automatically hits like magic missile.
Oh shit.
Dang. All right.
That's pretty good.
Blow something big up.
Oh yeah.
Someday.
Question.
Yeah.
Can we, do we have to use the bank of points, or could we be like, I want to send this many points?
You gotta use all
All
of
of
them.
them.
Yeah.
So the longer we wait, the better. To Megaton nuke something like 6 years from now.
We critically fail a lot.
Well, it's bound to happen. Captain Isaacs,
Yes. Avantris, what do you need?
it's good to see you again. How are the crew?
They're in better spirits today, that's for sure.
I can't reiterate enough how grateful we are for everything that you've done.
Well, I'm grateful that you have done what you've done and have confirmed that Gullhaven has been duped by 2 of its leaders for years.
Speaking of, you haven't already reached out to the Admiral, have you?
I have. I already made my report this morning.
Is it possible for you to send another message along?
I can. What do you need?
Well, we have Rodek and I have some critters, some creatures that, if you will, they're at the state line, the Dreamline State, right? We have like
They
stairs
are.
for
They are.
they're at our yes.
Shut your
Oh, I apologize. The creatures are staying at Chateau de Sylvie. I mean the Dreamline Estate.
No. I also have a critter.
A third critter that is also staying at Chateau de Sylvie. I
four.
mean the
It's got 2 heads.
Dreamline Estate.
Yeah, I don't know.
We need them safe passage here.
So, on a ship.
If unless there's a faster way for them to get here, but
That would be the fastest way.
yeah, if possible. I know it's a lot to ask, but there's a good chance in the near future we're going to have to do a lot of traveling, and it would be good if we had them.
Well, I'll arrange that right away. I'm sure the Admiral, all these weeks later, you're still saving Gullhaven. Even down here in Agwe. So I'm sure the Admiral would be more than happy to provide passage.
Thank you.
It may take well over a week, 2 weeks possibly.
That's fine.
They may not leave right away, but I'm sure that she'd be happy to send them.
Thank you. I'll turn to Rodek and say, I don't know if we want to worry about finding a new cart once Ramby gets here, or having them ship a cart with. I don't know how much that would cost or the logistics, but I just figured I'd ask.
I was having a cart made in Gullhaven to be done whenever. So it
that's
should be done.
convenient.
It should be done by now. I did that, right?
You did that, yeah.
Well, that's great. Then if you could also send that along with the message, maybe the cart will be finished by then.
I'm just a bit worried. Do we want to wait and risk them on a boat for weeks?
I just don't see any other way, and I'm concerned that if we need them, when we need them, it'll be an urgent matter.
Well, what if we end up having to leave from Gullhaven, and then we have to take another week to send them back to Gullhaven so that we can leave from Gullhaven?
That's true. It could be. I'm open to opinion. If my thought process was the next place we're headed after here is we're going to find Amulin's mother.
Well, Orpheus knows the best way in and out. That's why we're keeping him alive. So he might know which is better. Do we leave from Agwe or do we leave from Gulhaven?
It couldn't hurt to ask.
Yeah, I think when we get to that point, sure. But we're not ready to leave yet.
Well, I think
we're jumping the horse in front of the cart or whatever.
I'm just won't be surprised if we have to travel great distances to find this cup either.
Oh no, I completely agree.
Well,
I just think that, and no offense, because I don't really have a pet that I have to worry about. I mean, Lumi does what Lumi does, but I think it's a little less cumbersome not having the goat and your bird and whatever the fuck that thing is that you have. Not having those around.
I
You
mean,
don't have to worry about stabling them and feeding them and making sure that they're taken care of. At the Dreamland Estate, they're happy. I mean, Chateau Sylvie, fuck!
well, do you want to message Orpheus and see what he thinks?
Yeah, when we know what we're gonna do.
Alright, I think
messaging him before we've talked to Lee from Vine and before we've talked to Madame Zostra is silly. Because then we're just going to have to message him back and be like, hey, that stuff we said, we have new information. We should have those meetings, then determine what we're going to do, and then message him and make our plan from there.
Alright, Captain, then. If she can begin making the preparations, and if they won't leave for a few days, perhaps we can make adjustments to those arrangements.
I will await additional instructions after I send my additional correspondence to Admiral Theramore.
Alright.
Sounds good to me.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's fine. So, I think we're good there. Do we just wait until evening?
I don't have anything I need to do.
Alright, well, I'm going to go to my room for a wee bit. Where can I find you?
I'll be in my room.
Alright. I'll see you in the evening.
As you're all turning to go, you hear a soft and you hear kind of a strange tapping sound. And you turn around and you look down and you see a tiny cat. But it seems to be this beautiful green color, almost as if it's made out of stone. And there is a small scroll in its mouth.
Titania heard me and sent me my very own pet.
And it looks up at you, and you can see that it has these jade irises. And it drops the letter, and it goes, "Ah," and just turns around and walks off the ship.
What a bitch!
Is that for you? Is that a Feywild thing?
Oh, I don't think so. I thought Titania sent it to me, but she wouldn't be mean enough to give me a bitchy old cat.
Oh, read it.
You can read it.
Alright, I'll open it up and
Why do you keep telling me to do everything? You
As-
talk to Orpheus.
As you see this scroll, there is this beautiful, sparkling green seal on it. And it has the symbol of the cat's eye on it. And you remember seeing this all over Little Yulong. And you pop it, and you read, and it is from Master Leaf. He is informing you that the other leaders are very anxious, and he could only get them a meeting tonight at 8 o'clock. And they have agreed to meet at the Misty Morning, which was his tea shop. And so there is a lot of disagreement about what to do, but they've agreed to give some time, so...
I'll relay that. Well, sounds like we're on for tonight.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm glad we can go back to Gulhaven. Well, how many hours until 8?
It's probably getting close. You probably have like 4 or 5 hours.
Well, we've been through a lot. I think that it's fine for us to just relax and enjoy some downtime.
I agree.
We never have that.
I kind of feel like we should be preparing. I don't know.
What?
For our next task. I mean, this, we had a lot of tools to help us out trying to get through this last part, and it didn't go all that well.
Well, I mean, beyond buying more potions, perhaps tonight, while we're in Little Yulong, we could see if there are any more potions or magical items we could buy. But beyond that, I think getting rest and waiting to see what the Cloven can do to assist us
That's true.
is the best we can do.
I agree.
I mean, we've been going, and we kind of have the first opportunity to just relax and not think about what we're going to do for the next 5 minutes. And
It's just hard not to think about. I mean, it's
Right?
well, I
like
agree,
an
but
undead Dragolith.
Kill everything.
I think that it's also really unwise to try to make plans when we don't have all the information. We have
That's
to
true.
talk to them tonight, and we can make all the plans that we want now, but they could throw something at us tonight that we weren't expecting, and then all of the time we spent making those plans is worthless.
Well, then we just relax. We'll take the evening. You can take a nap, you can meditate, whatever you two do. You could get a drink.
Why are you looking at me? I don't meditate.
No, I just mean you could
I'm
just
not an
drink.
elf.
Nice.
I'm a gnome.
Well, you kind of look. You got the pointy ear thing.
Yeah,
going
mine
on.
are a little less pointy.
Anyways, I'm going to my room. I'll see you later.
Okay,
And
bye.
I'll walk off.
Okay.
I'm gonna wander around town and look through this Ring of the Rooster and see if I can find any roosters.
I'm actually, if we've got 4 hours,
Yeah.
or 5 hours, I'm gonna take a long rest.
Okay. Yeah. You do that. So you go into your room immediately and start meditating before you have to get ready. Daniel?
I don't know. I'm conflicted. I'm gonna walk around town a little bit and just try to get a general vibe of what's going on. I know everybody's dark and leaving and doing stuff, but I'm just gonna see if I can hear any kind of stirrings of things going on.
Okay. So Rodek, you are in your room. What are you doing? Are you going to sleep?
I am going to sit down on my bed, and kind of reflect on everything we've been through in the last, it's only been 2 days. And I'm just gonna say kind of close my eyes, and I'm just gonna pray and just try to kind of reflect on it and just think about what we've been through and kind of just ask for guidance on, what we have ahead of us.
Guidance to whom? Guidance from whom?
From Mord.
Could you make a religion check at advantage, please?
12. 12.
12.
Hold on. Yeah, 12.
12. As you pray, you're focusing hard, thinking about everything that you experienced. You think back to the glass smashing on Alphonse's face and him getting doused in holy water as it singes flesh. You think back to the shimmering silver woman in the moonlight taking up the spirit of Hissy. And you think about everything that you've gone through, your past, your history, and her. And you pray. And for a moment you feel peace. Almost an unsettling peace for the usual worry and concern that you're always feeling. And a memory strikes your brain. It's cold, you're in large stone halls, and a letter. And you recall something in your bags that's been kept away for a very long time.
And I see that clearly, I get that in my mind's eye.
It's not in your mind's eye, but it's just memories that just kind of hit you along with the calm. And there's a clarity to these memories.
I will...
With a 12.
I will go into my pack,
Mm-hmm.
and I will pull out my smith's tools,
Okay.
and I will put them on the bed, and I will unravel them.
Okay,
And
you do that.
From the smith's tools, there will be a small pouch within all of them.
Mm-hmm.
I'll pull out, there's a ring on a chain. Kind of like a plain, like steel or iron ring with no marking on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to just kind of inspect it.
Okay.
Pull it out.
Make an investigation check.
17.
You look back. You look at it. It's cool to the touch, and you see that it's a signet ring with no signet on it. And you examine it, and it does not seem to be changed since the last time that you saw it. It's the last time you put it in that pouch and wrapped it up.
I'm gonna clasp it in my hands and pray again, and just to kind of see if this feels right.
Okay. Make a religion check at advantage, please.
Oh, 19.
Oh boy.
19. You clasp the ring and you pray. Are you going to say anything in your prayer, or is it just...
I'll say, Moradin, I turned my back on you once, and people and a person I care deeply about met their demise because of you, but in her last act to me, she wrote that even though I turned my back on you, you would never turn your back on me. And I need to know, I've had this for years and I've never put it on since she returned it to me. Is now the time. I'll just close my eyes.
You close your eyes with a 19. As you say that, you remember this cool steel iron ring and clasping your huge palms. And it's this pit of coolness and this pit of sore memories and regret. And suddenly, as you finish your prayer, you feel warmth in between your hands.
I will open my hands and inspect it.
You open your hands. The ring is just sitting there. The chain is no longer connected to it.
I'll put the chain down. I'll take the ring. And I'll place it on my finger.
As soon as you place the ring firmly on your finger, you hear the clang of metal, of a hammer on an anvil. And suddenly, all around you, you step back, and this radiating molten flame spins all around you and radiates from you. And then immediately sinks back into you.
What was that?
As you turn your hand over and you look at the ring where there was no signet, you see in a burning molten orange the symbol of an anvil with a flame. And it glows brightly and then dims back down. And the signet ring returns to as it was.
I would like to pray again and I'll say, was that a sign? What does that mean?
Nothing.
All right. I'll leave this on then, and I'll see what happens. And I'll kind of look around, and then I guess I'll pack up my smith's tools. I'll put the chain back into the pouch, leaving the ring on, and put it in my pack.
Okay. Sylvie, you are looking around, skipping through Ogway, and you see a lot of somber people, scared people. You see the occasional the occasional cat, the stray dog, and as you turn down an alley, right towards Little Yulong, you hear kind of this low clucking. As you turn through the ring, you see a rooster walk in front of you.
No fucking way!
It works.
I'm gonna run towards the rooster.
You run
But I'm
towards
gonna be
the
making a lot of noise. I'm gonna run away.
make an animal handling check. At disadvantage.
Well, you have your thing though. Remember your racial trait.
Oh.
Speak with small bees.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care.
You can communicate. Okay.
That doesn't change this. My animal handling.
This ring smells fresh.
5.
As soon as you yelp and you start sprinting towards it, it
I'm gonna start clucking wildly.
lets out this and starts scampering away. It doesn't seem to fly away. It just kind of starts doing that thing that pigeons do, and they just start scampering away, and it's bobbing its head back and forth and starts to run away
I
from
don't
you.
have any bread or anything to give you. You have this really weird looking sack hanging from your neck. I love it.
And I'm just gonna keep running and screaming at it, and I'll do that until I think I should probably get back to the ship.
Make a dexterity check and make an animal handling check.
Natural 20.
Oh, damn.
Always when it counts. So 23 for the dex and 17 for animal handling. Or do
You
want me to do that
eventually catch up to
Do
the
you want me to
rooster.
do that at disadvantage?
No, that's fine now. I would say that as you're running through it, you eventually catch up to this rooster with this bright green plumage in its tail and this what is it called? The wattle or what is it called?
Yeah.
I think it's a
That's definitely on a turkey.
A gob.
I thought on a turkey it was a waddle.
Maybe
it could
not.
also be that on
Either
a rooster.
way,
don't know.
a flappy
It's
bird
a
sack.
fleshy jiggle.
Fleshy jiggle sack.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
That's a scientific
I'm all
term.
set.
Yep. You eventually catch up to
It's a
it.
vajiggle jaggle.
Okay.
It's honey boo
That's on
boo.
the females.
I'm gonna grab it and then I'm gonna keep holding it and then I'm gonna pretend like I can't see it or can I see it without the cock?
You look down. You can definitely see it without the cock.
Where'd you go? Oh, there you are.
And then I'm just gonna carry it back to the boat.
Okay, a gnome is skipping with like a rooster that's like this big in its arms, and it just okay. You skip back. Annulin, you walk off into the city. See the similar thing. There's repairs already beginning, but people are moving slower. The kind of stench of death is in the air and the burning of bodies. And you can see that there's smoke rising at points all across the city. And you're making your way through. What are you doing?
Just as I'm walking, I'm just gonna kind of like reach into my pack and uncrumple the letter that my brother had sent me and just reread over it again.
Okay.
And
You have all that, right? Or did you remember the gist of it? You remember the gist of it.
yeah, I have it. I'm just gonna be
Yeah.
rereading it and contemplating a response back.
Okay.
But I'll just
So yeah, you remember the
Fuck
context.
yourself, right?
As you
basically
read
passive-aggressive,
through,
fuck yourself.
Unbelievable.
you remember his words where he tried to make a case to the Thorn Mother, but she was unwilling to send aid. She had said that there were far more pressing matters than the fire giants of Svarog, and that he could take no action against them. And he regrets not being able to help, but he has to follow orders.
So
And
I'm
that's
just
the
gonna
general
be,
gist.
like, walking around and like kicking rocks.
The wrong thing.
I can't believe you're being such a little bitch. He never used to be like this, and they've just really gotten into his head. It's like a cult. You know, I've seen a lot of cults, and I'm just walking around talking to myself. This really does seem like a
And as you're saying that, Sylvie runs past you holding a rooster, not even noticing you. She runs straight for the boat.
Is that a... No.
You bump into her.
Asshole!
Having no idea, you see this chicken that just, oh, hey, Fraley, hey, everybody who's hanging out. Sylvie is using a cock ring to hold a big cock.
No, it's Ring of the Rooster.
Ring of the
Come on,
Rooster.
Mikey. Jesus. Like you're not even. Let's think you're not even the DM or something.
So, I know I'm not really a good DM. So, I use an ironing board. Who the fuck does that? So anyway,
Probably only you. But anyway,
eventually, you all make your way back to the Knight's Patience. You probably have a good hour to get ready and to get there, which is enough time. You feel you have 2 hours to get ready.
Oh my gods! What in the nine hells is that? What are you holding?
They can't see it because of the ring.
What do you mean?
I'm terribly confused.
About what? Can you see my rooster?
I'm gonna go get a drink, and I head off to the galley.
Can you see my rooster?
Your eye is so puffy.
Yeah, it itches really bad. I think the rooster's spinning it.
I hate you.
I don't think the farmer has visited the vet for a while to get his rooster checked. Anyway, there is what?
The avian flu.
Yeah, the avian flu. Anyway, there is a frothy mug of ale or whatever beer you would like waiting for you in the galley. A number of the crew are there at several tables. They give you a nod and you manage to find the table that you usually congregate at. The crew has learned not to sit at that one. And you enjoy your alcohol.
I will, when I'm ready to go back out, I'll put both my gloves back on, and I will, just with my normal get-up, I'll walk out and join the game.
Okay, you do that. And with that, you all are eventually in the galley. If there's anything you want to discuss, or you're just heading off to Little Yulong.
I'm ready when you guys are.
Okay.
Oh, never mind. We don't see it.
What don't you see?
I don't know what you're talking about, Rodek.
Oh, you're right. I don't either. We should probably just go with what we're carrying right now.
Can you see? Oh, sorry. My eye's getting crusty. I thought you were Rodek. Annalyn, can you see what I'm holding? You wouldn't lie to me.
I gotta go!
Okay.
And so, are you bringing the rooster with you?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Totally normal.
you make your way through the harbor, and it's not long. As you're winding through the streets, the sound of the great sound of all of the jazz music that you were so used to hearing, that was synonymous with Ogway, is not happening. You now getting to the point where there might just be a poor beggar with a harmonica, or just a small stringed instrument trying to get tips in these trying times. But that's really all you hear as you make your way through Magnolia Promenade, eventually making your way to Little Yulong. And as you wind your way through the streets, you are familiar with seeing the members of the Jade Iris, and they were far more populous, dotting the rooftops and hiding behind corners than they are now. You remember hearing about the gang warfare that thinned their numbers, and then you knew that there were a lot of lives lost during the attack of the zombies during Nuit Blanche. You make your way through. There seems to be a bit more of normalcy here. As you make your way through, you remember that Alphonse hadn't hit Little Yulong. The chalice didn't reach that far, and it would have taken a while for zombies to get there. You can see some of the remnants. Some shops that were close to the promenade broken into, some splatters of blood, the occasional pyre in a town circle. And you eventually wind your way through, and you see, standing before you, the misty morning. Seems to be almost as if it was the day that you left it last. There's the warm, welcoming glow coming from the windows and the open door. And as you enter, you see a modestly active tea shop. There's a number of people of various races looking somber and grim, but enjoying their tea and their meal. And you see a hefty, elderly tabaxi with a large apron making his way back with a tray towards the back, and he places it down. And as you all enter, he turns and he sees you, and there is a bit of a glint of that old fire that you saw him battle with as he smiles at you and he says, "Welcome! I am very glad you could make it on short notice. I thought that one of you may have kicked my precious Jade off of the boat, but I appreciate you not doing that. She made it back safe and sound."
Oh, the cat was your own personal cat.
Well, she's less of a cat and more of a jade construct, but she's very cute, and she meows.
I have a rooster.
He looks down and he says, "I can prepare that for you if you wish."
You can see him?
The rooster?
Yeah.
Of course I can.
That motherfucker sold me a fake ring of the rooster!
Throw it on the ground.
Damn you, Robbie Rooster!
And I throw him out of the room.
You, it goes, and it flutters off as it kind of like sails as it lands, and then just, and it just walks off. And the ring of the rooster bounces, and then rolls out of the door as well along it. And Master Leaf blinks, and he says, well, we'll be meeting upstairs. We have at least 20 minutes. Come, I'll get ready. I'll guide you there.
Thank you.
And he pulls off his apron and hangs it up, and he passes off a few items to the person that he has working at the tea shop with him, and he leads you up this spiraling staircase that goes to a second floor, which is this little small hallway. And it leads to a small hallway, and at the very end is a very small door. It seems to be made out of just these tightly woven bamboo shoots. And he steps forward and opens it to a small circular room. It's a very plush, warm, welcoming. There's these beautiful silks of these just rich colors of green and red and orange and blue. And there is a table with these plush chairs all around it. You see that there are 7 chairs set up, and there is a station set up with a piping hot pot of tea. And says, "Please enjoy the tea while I go freshen up."
Thank you very much.
And we will.
Thank you, Master.
I'll be fetching our guests. They are not in the best mood, but I feel like if we all keep our cool, we should be able to come to some sort of agreement. But there have been no agreements yet.
Oh, we'll try to help.
I think that's the goal of this meeting, is figuring out what do we do next, and we want to make sure you're all aware of the stakes we're dealing with.
Any information will be helpful. Thank you.
Of
and
course.
so he bows and walks off, shutting the door behind you. You're welcome to chat and prepare for 20 minutes if you wish, or just wait for him to come back.
I'm gonna sit and help myself to tea.
You enjoy his tea. And as soon as it hits your lips, it is the most soothing, warming sensation that you've experienced in at least a very long time.
This is delightful.
It is the damn good shit.
This is damn good shit.
Well, I'll take some.
And
we should have asked him for a salve for her eye.
Don't speak to me, you lying bitch.
I didn't say anything.
That is awfully aggressive. Why don't you have some
Don't
tea?
speak to me, you
This ought to be
lying
good.
man bitch.
Oh, man bitch. Okay, well, my offer for the tea still stands, and I push the kettle towards her a little bit.
And I would blame you too, dwarf. But you weren't there. It was Annulin.
That's right.
What did I do?
I wasn't there at all. I don't know what you're even speaking of.
Huh. Well, I'm just gonna
In
take
the
this
future,
tea because
if-
Sylvie would hate it, so I'm gonna drink it.
Yeah, you
And I'm
drink it,
gonna
and I
just
hope it's
enjoy it.
filled with poison,
Oh.
like your lies.
Wow.
I didn't say anything to you.
And that is a lie.
You got me there.
You knew you could see that rooster. You knew I had been gypped. Then I wasted 15 of my gold pieces. I ran around. I have whatever this ring of gross stuff is around my ow. I popped one. And this is all your fault. You could have immediately said, Sylvie, that ring is not going to show you a rooster.
I feel like we all pretty clearly said that before you bought it.
No. He was laughing.
That's usually...
Because seeing roosters through a ring is hilarious.
Yes, that's why I was laughing.
I just can't believe you guys would let something like that happen to me.
Well, I'm not sure he even told you that you would be able to see roosters.
Well, he said it was a ring of the rooster.
Right,
and obviously it was way too big to fit on an appendage. My fingers are only this big.
To be fair, I asked him what it did, and we never really got a clear answer.
All he said was it was trial and error.
Yeah, it was just kind of hit or miss.
That's the point. You look through it, and you try and you err.
You did see a rooster through the ring.
It wasn't an invisible rooster that could only be seen.
Well, that would be a ring of the invisible rooster.
Ooh, right.
Oh, wow.
That's a totally different thing.
That's right.
That sounds accurate.
That checks out.
So, I know you threw that out the door, but I don't know if maybe that's a one-use item anyway.
It's probably best to leave it where it went.
Yeah. You've probably gotten all the magic you can get out of that.
In that case, Annulin
Somebody
and
did.
Avantris, I am so sorry for calling you a bitch and a man bitch because you are actually, well, yes, but you are actually right in this case. He didn't say it was a ring of the invisible rooster, and that is my fault for assuming.
That's okay. I'm not
Though,
worried about
however,
it.
you should have told me when I asked you if you could see the rooster that you could see the rooster, because I made an ass of myself in front of Leaf from Vine.
I'm sure he doesn't mind.
He looked at me like I was crazy.
That's all right.
And then he tried to cook Robbie.
He seems like a pretty easygoing guy, all said and done, so I don't think he'll care.
Can I cook your jade cat?
Maybe don't,
Well, you...
I'm gonna put your stone pussy in a kettle.
Okay.
I have nothing to say to that.
This tea is delicious.
It's very good.
Let's just sit here for
Minutes
the next 15
pass.
minutes in silence.
Let's just ruminate on our life choices.
Minutes pass.
Let this be a rule. Don't lie to Sylvie anymore.
Alright.
And eventually you hear a number of footsteps.
Oh, and also, some stupid elf was walking through the streets and tried to trip me. God, I called her out.
And then?
And then you hear a number of footsteps.
Sorry, Mike.
As it sounds a lot more like that, a lot more than 3.
Oh boy.
As the door opens and you see the shape of Master Leaf, and he's in very, very, very fine red robes. As he walks forward, and behind him is a younger female tabaxi of very dark black fur with some white markings on her. And she seems to have a number of various blades kind of all over her person. And she steps behind him, and behind her is a figure that just completely takes up the entire door. This towering hobgoblin of this kind of reddish, hairy body with his hair tied into a top knot, large sideburns, these yellow eyes as he steps in. And as soon as his body moves, you see a tiny form. You see a very familiar form of Mal Puckett. She is in a modest dress of grays and whites, and she has her huge spectacles on, and she kind of shuffles in. And behind her, you see 2 individuals that look familiar. The 2 of the goons that were in Evangeline's gang. One of them is a gator folk, and who seems to be one of the smarter ones in the band, and seems to kind of have a wiliness to him. And then the young male forest gnome, as they both walk into the room, and as both Leaf and Mal Puckett take their seats, these additional people find spots against the wall to stand. And then you see out from behind an individual that you'd only seen once, black feathers, a gross-looking avian bald head with a vulture beak coming out. These strange talon-like hands kind of clenching themselves as he surveys you, and he just does not mutter a word as he walks in the room. Behind him are two almost identical-looking Aarakocra that seem to be falcon variety, each armed with a huge glaive. And they walk in, and all of the guards stand around the room in this triad formation. And as Leaf enters and the others sit, he says, well, these are the heroes of Ogway, formerly heroes of Gullhaven. Well, maybe heroes of Ogway and Gullhaven.
We're actually mercenaries for hire.
Heroes is fine.
No,
I'm
we're
kidding.
not for hire regardless.
I'm kidding.
And Ma adjusts her...
It's been a long week.
Ma adjusts her spectacles and he says, "No, I know this child and this child and this child. I know her child. This child too. This one is Evangeline's kid." And then he says,
She's actually Sylvie's kin.
Poor baby girl. She got taken out." And she kind of glares over in Ickis's direction. And you remember Ickis is the vulture Aarakocra who's sitting before you. And he's glaring at you with these beady black eyes. And his beak opens and he says, "Why am I wasting my time with these mercenaries?"
Like we said, we're not mercenaries.
Do you have asthma? It sounds like it's really hard for you to breathe. Or is that like a beak thing?
I'm about to leave.
If
you don't give me a reason to stay.
I nudge Avantris.
Now, everyone. Let's all just take a deep breath. Let me start by introducing myself. My name is Avantris Truestrike, for those of you who don't know me.
While he's talking, I'm gonna pour some tea and put it in front of him.
Now, I don't want
For
to
the
assume
Ickis.
anything or take take charge of this meeting. That's not my goal. I mostly wanted to just come and make sure that everybody was doing okay after the horrible events that happened here in Ogway. And maybe I'll turn things over to Master Leaf here to explain what this meeting is about and let us know and any way that we can help.
And then perhaps after that we could provide some information to you on where things currently stand.
We do have some valuable information that
That's right.
is important to the safety of this town. City.
Master Leaf raises a paw to all of you. And he says, as he turns to Ickis, and his eyes narrow, and he kind of peels back his lips, and he bares his cat canines. And for a moment, you see the ferociousness of a wild beast. As he glares, and Ickis kind of cowers back, and he kind of hunches forward and says, "I will remind you what we discussed, Ickis. The fact that you are alive right now is only because I allow it. Is that the language that you prefer me use? Remember the last person that used that language. I am not him. I do not wish to be him, but you know what we did to your men. And you know what we are capable of. These are the ones that killed the men that duped you, that convinced you to betray your leader, the only one with a shred of honor of your filthy lot. And if I didn't think it would destroy Ogway to do it, you know what I would do to you right in here. So, we will listen to the valuable information they have. And you will listen. And you will answer questions. Or we will be having a private conversation." And you see Ickis kind of maintains his glare at all of you, but he shrinks back a little bit. And he looks down at the tea that you put in front of him, and he snatches it out with his talon, and he kind of awkwardly pours it into his vulture beak, as he just folds his arms and just listens. And Master Leaf gestures over to Ma and says, Ma and Ikis and I have been talking. And without Rami Guru, there is a power vacuum. That is true. We are trying to prevent our losses. Every day we do not have a riverboat or some place to sell the wares at a reasonable profit. We are losing great money. Agwe has seen 2 disasters happen at once. Span of days. People are fleeing. Our whole way of life is threatened. I know you don't care about smugglers and thugs like us, but I still believe in honor among thieves, and I am trying to make sure we prop up this city with the least bloodshed that we can achieve.
So, what you're saying is that without Guru in power, the town is going to tear itself apart?
If we don't come to some arrangement, and even Ma kind of points her spectacles down and kind of cowers a little bit, and you see a little bit of deviousness in her that you hadn't quite seen before. Yes, it will come to that, yes.
So, what do you propose then as a solution? I mean, do you think there needs to be one supreme leader of the whole city, or can you just each keep to yourselves? What's stopping you from doing that?
Better yet, work together.
Right?
How could we work together?
Well, not to be presumptuous, but on the evening that we had to basically storm Alphonse's mansion, we saw lots of teamwork amongst all 3 of these factions. You all seemed to come together for one common cause and put aside your differences in a time that things were pretty grim. We actively saw people from every faction working together.
Yeah, I mean, and with the layout of the city, it kind of works perfectly for the 3 of you, right? Like, you each have your own sector that you run. Ma Puckett can run the Bushwhackers the way she sees fit. You run your section the way you see fit. And Ikis, once he gets his inhaler, can run effectively the caravan as he sees fit. And then you have the Crawdad Quarter, which can be an intermingling of everybody, where all 3 of you, as a communal leadership, as a committee, rule over it. And it's where you share your wares and where you promote the selling of the products that you bring to Agwe individually. And it's a great kind of melting pot of all of you together. All of the things that make you great in one.
Yeah, and I had the chance to sample some wares. I mean, just from a market perspective, you don't seem to have a lot of overlap. So maybe you could just share.
What the caravan does helps her pick up dwarves. And what Ma Puckett does, it helps me just slobber all over myself.
There's a lot of good that you all provide. And I think if you could come together and, I mean, I don't know if you've seen outside, but it's pretty dreary. And that's certainly not how Agwe was when we came. So if we could get that back, you'd have a lot of, customers to go around.
Well, and you see Ma Puckett kind of shift up in her seat a little bit, and she adjusts, and you realize there's a pillow beneath her chair to kind of prop her up.
You and me both. So
cute.
And she's like, well, I mean, but the promenade be where all the best money is, and I know I can't trust neither of these 2 crooks to play nice. And split evenly. I see what both of them can do.
Could you just divide it up, like just draw lines? And effectively just expand into the promenade in your own way? Evenly?
Or why do you need to share it evenly? You have your section, they have their section, and then everything that happens in the Crawdad Quarter, you get paid for what you provide.
Like a
People,
marketplace.
yes. So you're not sharing the profit of your wisp glow with anyone, but it's up to you to market it there. And if people want more of it, if they want to know what what you have to offer, then they'll travel into your area to experience what is quintessentially you. It's a place for you guys to showcase yourselves, and then what happens in your quarter, that's where you are the lady of that quarter. And you just don't really get involved with each other. But you protect each other. If an outside source comes in and starts screwing with the caravan, then they know that you have their back and that you'll help them if you need to. Exactly. And that they would do the same for you, but otherwise you just don't mess with each other. Similar to what it was before. You're just taking out Guru.
Well, I tell you, child, it is very easy to stay in line when you can get bushwhacked by a frogman lickety quick. I tell you that.
Well, it sounds like it's very quick to lose your life when you can get whacked by a frogman lickety quick. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
That's the main problem. For I knew Guru the longest out of all of them, and while he did some bad things, sure.
How about this?
May he rest in peace.
We have on good authority that the Gullhaven Navy is very powerful. And so perhaps you all play nice, and if we find out that you don't, we call in our friends, and maybe they can come down and maintain order if you're not able to. I'd be remiss to not mention the impact on profits that may have, however. So I would highly suggest, I think as long as the three of you can play fair, then we wouldn't have to use that.
I think what my friend Rodek here is trying to say is that the less interference from the outside, the better. And now with Guru being removed, there isn't the constant threat of death. So you can operate as you see fit, just like Sylvie has said.
As you say that, as Rodek finishes, you see Ickis's eyes narrow. And he's... Leaf, you bring in those that would threaten us with the sea eagles of all things.
I turn to Ickis, is his name?
Yeah.
And I'm going to use Panache.
Oh, how does that work?
As an action, I can make a persuasion check contested by the creature's insight check. On a success, if he isn't hostile, meaning physically hostile, he's charmed for 1 minute.
What's the DC? I don't hit it no matter what.
It's against my persuasion, which is a bare minimum of 22.
I don't hit it. And so, just to see how this goes, I would like Sylvie to make a persuasion check at advantage. And I would like you to make a persuasion check at advantage. And I would like you to make a... Intimidation.
23.
23?
27.
27.
13.
13. Okay. So using Panache. He fails, no matter what.
Ickis, it's a pleasure to meet you formally. You seem like a rather shrewd and wise individual. This is not a threat. We are not here to threaten anyone. We are just simply showing you the pros and cons of what can be achieved by running the city as the three of you see fit, without any kind of outside force or intervention or any kind of problems. Like I said, Mr. Guru has been removed from power, so now you no longer are under the constant threat of death and punishment. You are free to do what you see fit with your portion of Agwe, and will work together peacefully with the other factions.
You see that he's as he is making these strange noises, as his glare at Rodek after that threat, he kind of seems to be calmed down a little bit, thanks to the collective group effort of everything that you guys have done and talked about. And he calms down and says, and he looks at you, and he looks like he's almost trying to resist against what you're saying, but he pulls himself back and says, I just want to keep making my profits.
There's no reason why things can't just go back to normal. The only difference is no one is putting you under constant duress.
They want me to give up the slave trade. And he points to both of them as Leaf heaves himself up and looks at him and says, I told you I will not be in collusion with a slaver. Guru may have looked the other way. I will not. And Ma just kind of like looks at him and just kind of cowers back a little bit.
Ickis, do you not feel that this is not a reasonable request?
No. The money we've gotten from Svarog and Ziri has begun to far outweigh the Dune Spice.
My hand on my dagger at my hip and just glare.
Well, here's the thing. Gru's not actually dead. Or he is dead, but he's only mostly dead.
Yeah,
What?
He's a Dracolich now. Is that what it's called?
You may have known about his voodoo powers, that's right. And now you know he was an ancient black
Speaking
dragon.
of which, do you know who Baron Samedi is?
Baron Samedi? No. And you see that both Ma, Puckett, and Ickis are their eyes are wide.
Okay, well, I think the two of you do know who we're talking about. So, if I were you, I would put your big boy and big girl panties on and start acting like adults here, okay? So if you have to give up the slave trade because it means that we have to get Ogway under wraps, then you're gonna have to do that. Because we've got a Dracolich and a Baron Samedi on our hands.
The bottom line, I believe what Sylvie is trying to say here is that profits will mean nothing if what we think is going to happen will happen.
If you're dead.
There are very dark forces at play here. Alphonse was, unfortunately, just a pawn in all of this, and not really the end-all be-all that we thought he was. So while the immediate threat of Alphonse may have also been removed, Guru is not gone for good.
Ma Puckett looks at you and says, I thought he died in the swamp. He was a dragon boy, and he was dead.
He was.
He was.
He may not stay that way for long.
He's even more powerful than I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly not without help. As Sylvie has mentioned, there's another actor in all of this who is bringing him back.
What do you know about Baron Samedi?
Ickis, he looks genuinely confused as his eyes are wide. All I know is what I saw that man do to Lagara every time he was threatened.
What about you?
Ragara threatened Baron Samedi?
No, Guru.
Oh, that's not what we asked.
He tortured her horribly. And
how did he do it? With the doll?
With his doll and his needle and his dice. And make an insight. Want to do a group insight check?
Natural.
Ooh, got a 19.
8.
18.
How is
13.
My insight
13.
is +1.
What did you get, Vandris?
19.
19. Sylvie and Vandris. Both of you look around the room. Okay. Both of you look around the room, and you see that Ickis looks irritated and angry, almost reminiscing on what's happened in the past. Master Leaf looks genuinely confused, and you see Ma Puckett looking a little bit nervous and surprised, kind of her eyes darting around, and she kind of is like cowering back in her seat a little bit.
You were asking a question. I don't. That's just what we notice, right? I'm just going to
when you're talking about Baron Samedi. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, I'll just continue since I didn't pursue that. Ma, what do you know about this man?
I don't know. Baron Samedi. I don't know who he or she is. I don't know. Nope.
I just look at Rodak and I kind of say,
"Can I insight check her?"
Yeah.
10, 11.
How close are they to me right now?
I mean, you guys are around a table, probably
We're in a room,
no more
right?
than 10 feet.
Yeah.
No more than 10 feet.
If I may.
Please.
Now,
I would say that you might be a little closer than 10 feet, Sylvie, because you're both the gnomes got put on the same side. You might even be next to her.
Now, Ma, I don't mean to make you uncomfortable or ask you anything that might upset you, but any information that you might have for us will only aid in us helping protect you in this city. I promise you we are not going to allow anything bad to happen here, if we can avoid it. We've already stopped Alphonse. And we're going to do the same for whatever happens with Garou and Baron Samedi. But we need to know everything that you know.
Make a persuasion check.
That is a 10, so 22.
22. She kind of starts to shake her head, and her eyes go even wider, magnified by her massive spectacles. And she just goes, no, I don't know nothing about no Baron Samedi or what he can do. Or no, he ain't been here. I don't know nothing about him or his relationship with Garou. I promise. And you sort of see her eyes well up a little bit. And it says like, he's a fairy tale. He's a fairy tale. That's all he is.
With the insight check, do we get the idea that she's telling the truth?
You know that Baron Samedi is a fairy tale boogeyman. I believe that Sylvie perceived that almost immediately after meeting him the first time.
Right.
But I would say with your roles that both of you got, you're easily perceiving that she knows it's not a fairy tale.
So, well, okay. I guess my question is she outright lying to us, or does she...
She seems very afraid. She does not want to talk about it.
Right. Damn, with a 22.
Ma Puckett?
Yes, child.
You know that I really like you, right?
I very much like your sister. You seem okay.
And, I just want you to know I'm really sorry for this.
And I cast Charm Monster on her.
Okay. What's the DC?
19.
Oh, that is a D12. 19, that is going to fail.
Okay. I know that you're really scared. But you can trust us, okay? We want to help you. We don't want to disrupt what you've got going on here. What do you know about Baron Samedi?
Her eyes kind of glaze over. And she looks at all of you, and she looks at Leaf, who leans forward and looks at you with the nodding approval and says, "Tell her everything you know. Our city depends on it."
It may be the only way for us to come out of this alive.
And you feel, and you see her kind of well up. He's the Shadow Man. I knew Remy Garou for 40 years. 4 decades, child. Twice your age.
Yeah.
And I never saw that man afraid of nothing. Not a single thing. A whole lot of horrible people coming here. He wasn't afraid of Amalia or sea eagles. Nobody was he afraid of. Not even Alphonse LeBlanc, that child with the devil in his heart. But he was afraid of Samedi. He was afraid of the Shadow Man. He told me things. He'd been here a long time. Long before there was an Agwe or a city. He told me of a place. A place that's like this. Like where we're standing right here, but dark. Covered in shadow, full of death. A horrible place. That's where he first met him. And first made the deal. That gave him all those powers that he used for so long. He said, in the world he came from, he ain't as big of a shot as he think he is, but he could be. And he got real high hopes. I do tell you that. Guru never did like him. But there was fear. There was fear, and he said he could move in the shadows. The shadows moved when he was near. That the old Agway cemetery, that was a place that he would bring so many people. And the things that I heard about, I didn't even see him. That he did to them. That Mr. Guru did for him. Horrible things. Things I couldn't believe, and I still don't believe. But if it is him, if it's the Shadow Man, then I believe you that Mr. Guru is alive.
Do you believe us when we say that makes it worth you trying to work together to keep this town together? That if Baron Samedi is behind all of this, that unity is going to be the thing that we need to keep ourselves strong against him. In the shadows, if you run alone, you're an easy target.
Make your persuasion check at advantage, please.
28.
28.
Pretty good.
She immediately starts nodding. Yes. I'll do whatever Lee said at this point. He has a good head on his shoulders. I ain't much older than he is, but he a good cat. And she kind of smiles over at him, and there's a twinge of fear in there as well. And he gives her a stern look. And then he turns to you and says, Unless the caravan give up their old ways, I don't think Master Leaf is gonna budge. I'll do whatever it takes, though. I promise. The bushwhackers, we fight for Agway. This is our home. This was our home before it was anybody else's. That's the truth.
Okay.
Ickis looks at all of you and still coming off of the effects of the panache is still slightly, and he leans forward. His eyes seem to be less wild and distrusting. And he says, Thank you for the raid. Thank you, Chaos Conductor. It's great to see you all.
Good to see you.
The party is meeting with 3 powerful crime lords after the city has been ravaged by a black dragon and a vampire. So, that's what's happening.
Yep.
Ickis leans forward with his vulture head and he says, How will we be compensated? You know that Dune Spice is not as popular as Serpent's Breath or Wisp Glow, and you expect us to give up our ways when Nziri is paying us so much.
Well, don't you think that if you put the energy that you're putting into selling slaves into marketing your Dune Spice a little better, that maybe your profits would rise? I know that Annulin, when she took it, literally lifted a dwarf and ran through the Crawdad Quarter. It was quite impressive. If I knew that it could do that before it was offered to me, I would have been more inclined to buy it. But I saw no pamphlets, I saw no posters, I saw no marketing. Nothing at all.
And the other thing is I think you should pivot away from a fun time drug to a productivity increaser.
Yeah, think about what you could do on that. You think that Dune Spice isn't selling well? Well, hey.
Well, I've got to go muck out the stables today, but geez, I'm feeling tired and weak. Well, what you need is some Dune Spice.
If you have some Dune Spice, even you can lift a dwarf and run through town.
Dune Spice makes working nice.
Dune Spice makes the work go by twice.
Avantris is just standing there like this.
That's fast.
Make a fucking persuasion check at advantage. Whoever would like to do it.
Please.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh no!
We have a twist. How many twists do we have?
15. Can I use an inspiration for that?
If you have inspiration,
I have inspiration that I've been holding on to.
If you have inspiration, you want to give it to her because you're assisting.
so
I would
roll
say
one
that's
more.
totally fine.
You're fucking dice! 15.
15. Okay.
That's not that bad.
That's alright.
I would say I would say
16.
as
I'm a liar, 16.
as you
16.
talk, the DC is lowering on Ickis. That's the, I will say, pulling back the veil here. As he looks at you, and also the panache would also lower the DC as that as well, which is fair. As he eyes you and he says, "It is very expensive to acquire Dune Spice. Slaves are easy. Do you know how hard it is to kill a purple worm?"
You know what's really great? If it's expensive to produce, then you can literally market it as the fancy folks. Well, it's very expensive. It's exclusive. Mm-hmm. It's significantly more expensive than, no offense, Mount Bucket, Whisk Glow, or whatever the Jade Iris sells, no offense, leave from mine. And sell it to people who have a lot of money. Swindle them. That's what you do best. You don't have to sell people to pull one over on people.
He eyes you.
It's exotic. It comes from Neckbed.
It does, but... He looks, and Leaf is glaring at him. His lips are pulled back very slightly. You just see the gleam of both of his fangs. And Ma Puckett is giving him a nod. He's seeing all of your gazes. And he leans forward and says, I am not sure, but if we can find, if you say Agway is not safe, how do I know there will even be a city to sell my drugs? I am willing to give it an opportunity.
But if there's no city to sell your drugs, then there's no city for you to import slaves into and send up to these other places. So it sounds like either way, your business is fucked. The only way you can prevent having absolutely no money and ruining the rest of your life is to give up the slave trade, spend all of your resources into marking this high-end, expensive drug, Dune Spice, that helps enhance people's focus and ability to accomplish their tasks.
Imagine if you could sell it to entire armies.
And what do you want me to say to Nsiri when I tell her her primary source of slaves has dried up?
You tell her that you have the entire town, city of Agway, to back you up. If we're all in this together, they're not going to let you drown, because they need you too.
Yes.
Elf, have you ever met an Afrita?
Ew, gross. Oh, we have!
I can say that I have.
Yeah, she gave us a wish. It was really cool.
Have you ever tried to reason with one?
Oh, I didn't really have to. She was really nice.
Yeah, that I can't say that I've done.
Yeah, she's pretty reasonable.
You have never met an Afrita like this.
Well, it sounds like you should make better Afritas.
We have employed sadistic, brutal, horrific, torturers, thugs, enforcers. I have met her personally a handful of times. She's far worse than anything I have encountered.
What is she going to do to you? Kill you all?
I do not know. I will have to make sure that all of our caravan enforcers and our far striders are very far away from Svarog when we give her the news.
That's a good first step.
And you can tell her that the entire force of the Gullhaven Navy will come down on her if she tries to come against you.
I do not think she will care.
You could always tell her that when the town was attacked by a vampire and a dragon, that all of the docks and the ports were exploded, and that unfortunately you're no longer going to be able to fulfill her orders because there's an exploded dock. And the town's basically in ruin. And that as much as you love to fulfill those orders for her, you can't. And you don't want her to you don't want to ruin what she's doing by her waiting for you, because it's going to take years to rebuild the dock to a way that you'll be able to fulfill those orders. So as much as it pains you that, she might want to start looking for another guy.
At the very least, it would buy you time. We don't condone the choices we made, and we're not really here to help you unfuck up your life. We're telling you that you don't really have any other choice here. And we're willing to do everything in our power to protect you, the other two leaders, and Agway. That is what we can promise.
If you commit to no more slaves.
Let's get a group persuasion check at advantage for everybody.
I'm just not even gonna bother.
That'll be a 30 for me.
Rolling.
30.
You said precision.
I got a 19.
What do you get, Rodak?
19.
25.
He
19, 20, 25.
he shrinks back as you're all talking, and Leaf gets a look of satisfaction as he smiles at all of you, and he looks at you and says, "Do we have an agreement, Ikis? Are we going to have to call off the ceasefire?" And he cowers back and says, "Well,
When Dad gets that serious face.
When Dad uses your full name.
I will attempt to contact her as soon as I know that our Frost Riders are far away from that horrible volcano."
Well, I don't know how you normally formalize these things, but I'm in. And I walk up and I put my hand in. If we've all reached an agreement.
Well, it is highly...
You have my fae.
It is highly untraditional, but why not? And Master Leaf puts his paw in.
And your axe? And her bow?
And my axe.
And my bow.
And then Ikis is...
guys.
He looks like he's like a pouting...
So much.
a horrible pouting vulture man. If you've seen The Dark Crystal...
Have
If you've seen The Dark Crystal, it's basically the gist. As he's holding out his horrible claw. Or
That is what you're doing. I was like,
Thank you, Nose.
Okay.
I'm doing a Jim Henson business. I don't know what I'm doing. And
I was picturing him like
I've literally role-played him
exactly-
once in the entire campaign.
That is exactly how I've been picturing him the entire time, so...
Yeah, he's more of a standard vulture, but that's the gist. Anyway,
Yeah.
and he says, like, well, for the survival of myself and the caravan, I agree. But you still don't have proof that Guru is alive. And he puts his clawed hand in.
We will in time.
And then Master Leaf goes, is this how we do? Oh.
Yeah.
And he puts it back. I'm sorry. He looks very embarrassed.
Hurry it up. Ma, are you in?
She sticks her hand immediately in. She's like, well, Sylvie, I trusted your sister with my life and my secrets. I'll trust you, child. And
All right.
Put their hands
then
in.
we're in agreement. It's done.
And then they all put their hands. I'm sorry. Let us celebrate with some tea. And he begins to start pouring tea. And as you all
we drink it and then we all die because he's the bad guy.
He pulls out a cigar and turns into a shadow man.
yeah, bum 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 bum.
I would hate you so much. Please don't do that to me.
And as you're all sitting down,
Those words freak me out so much. And as I'm like, oh god, what's gonna happen now?
you're all sitting down and you're enjoying your tea. And you're sitting back and realizing, holy shit, we are surrounded by 3 incredibly powerful, potentially bloodthirsty gang leaders. And this is really the first time you got to see the viciousness and the connivingness of Leaf and Malpucket. And you realize, well, we've been trusting these people, and they're still gang leaders. And they are still people that have probably done a lot of bad things, but you realized in this conversation that the self-interest and the survival of the city and themselves and their gangs is a great unifying factor. They're united in their selfishness. And after you're enjoying, and Ickis looks like he is still irritated, and there's a bit of worry in his eyes. And he kind of pulls over one of the falcon-headed Aarakocra that leans down, whispers something into the ear, and then the Aarakocra steps back. And as you're kind of enjoying, you suddenly hear, you remember that the night was this beautiful, clear sky. You had watched a myriad ships sail away, and you hear this loud boom of thunder from outside.
You
And
really can't catch a break.
the windows rattle as howling wind.
Try not to say I hate those. I hate those words.
As howling wind rattles the windows, and you suddenly, as you're all sitting there, this horrific putrid stench hits your nostrils.
Fuck. Well, that's not good.
And as the wind howls, thunder booms again. You start to hear the rushing of footsteps from down below. Master Leaf immediately gets up and says, what is going on?
I'm gonna get up and pull my bow.
Did someone... Angelin, did you fart again? Oh my god!
Some kind of trick!
No, and Nikas is cowering. No, it's not a trick.
Everyone,
Did you do this?
everyone
You
relax.
whispered to that guy and then this stuff started.
I just wanted to leave. I wanted an excuse to leave.
Nobody panic.
I run to the window and look outside.
And you look outside and you see that
Hi, Wiley.
You look and you see that what was previously a beautiful night sky is now incredibly cloudy. Streaks of lightning in it as you see the wind rushing over the houses. Leaves are being swept in, the trees of the bayou. And as you start hearing frightened screams from down below and outside.
Jesus.
And Leaf immediately says, we must go! And as he opens the door, you start to hear, impossibly, something emanating throughout the room. An ominous, melancholy sound of string music starts to emanate through the entire town. And immediately, Leaf sprints out the door. He's like, we must go! And immediately runs out of the room and down the stairs.
I'll follow Leaf.
Yeah, I'm gonna immediately run with him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right behind them.
The three gang leaders are out, and even Ickis is running quickly, and all of the guards are falling behind. As you run outside,
We told you, here's your fucking proof, Kid Icarus.
and you see Ickis looks up, and he says, yes, this is proof. As you run outside, you see crowds of people with their necks craned to the sky, their faces wrenched in fear.
This is real bad.
Others sprint through the streets as if fleeing some horrific danger. As you look up, you see the clear source of their fear. As another thunderclap booms over you. Filling the previously clear night sky are huge billowing clouds moving rapidly. And within them, countless ghost lights dancing and swaying in bright shades of green, purple, orange, and pink. The mass of clouds and dots of light undulating together to form the shape of a massive head in the sky. It's wide, bloated, rotted, and draconic, with a massive grinning maw of teeth flanked by dangling tendrils, and ultimately framed by two huge horns. A broken fin rises up from the top of the face of Rugarul, and you see this cloudy approximation is slashed apart and decaying, but held together by huge dark stitches running up and down and across his head. Where you remember yellow, ravenous eyes are now nothing more than deep, black, empty pits. But it's clear that those sockets are seeing down onto the city, as its huge tongue, sewn together from various pieces of previously severed flesh, dangles out of his mouth as he begins to speak. Lovely evening, isn't it, Agwe? It's your old friend, Remy Gru. Don't you recognize me? It was truly a pleasure serving this fair city and indulging the darkest cravings of so many of y'all for years. But it's about time y'all gave back. I apologize for my change in demeanor. I'm not the man I once was, I must admit. Death has a funny way of messing with your mind and making you about as mad as a hatter. But no matter. I'll soon be back to the city I love so dearly. I'm a bit tied up at the moment, but I am chomping at the bit to see all of y'all. And I do mean all. I do. Man, woman, child, chef, gambler, priest, gang leader. It don't matter none to me. Death don't discriminate between the sinners and the saints. And I intend to feast like a fox in the henhouse, indiscriminately. And you all are on the menu, and I just can't wait. Immediately, people all around you are screaming, running through the streets. Many of them in the direction to the harbor. I do regret that I can not indulge in such a varied menu at this very moment. But I am talking to y'all from the other side, which isn't half as bad as I thought. A whole world of death and shadow sounds a lot worse on paper than in practice. You get used to it. Not like y'all will have a choice once the veil between the sides gets thinner and thinner until your whole world turns upside down. Yes, as people are screaming, running. Yes! Cower and flee! Your fear, your misery, your anguish, your worry are delectable. It sustains me. It empowers me. I am starting to feel closer to my old self again. And don't you worry. When the time comes and the shadows dance, you may experience a slight discomfort, as the medics say. But at the end of the day, we'll all be dancing and swinging to the same tune. Ha ha ha! My stomach can hardly wait. Until then, just remember that this is my swamp. And for your convenience, have a little reminder. With another crack of rumbling thunder, the somber music immediately stops, and the monstrous face in the clouds dissipates as the twinkling ghost lights shimmer and fade. However, the putrid stench still hangs in the air.
Did I not say I hate those fucking words? It's worse than a DM smiling.
What the hell was that? There was no physical form, right?
Well,
Nope.
So I think that,
Do I know anything about the Shadowfell at all?
Make an Arcana check.
Wait, we hear this?
No.
Or no? So this is...
This is mood music.
17.
I would say you've heard of a realm of death and shadow, where the Shadow Man lives. Where if you wander off into the swamp, if you wander into the old Ogway Cemetery at night, you may fall through and you'll never come back. You remember the stories being told of the horrible creatures that live there. A world where emotions are muted and it's nothing but misery and death and darkness. And it is a world that is upside down.
so I think he's in the Shadowfell. You know, he's at that upside downy thing.
What does that even mean? Like from that hit television series on Netflix?
You mean Netflix?
So wait, you know it's actually called the Shadowfell?
I would say that you would know the Shadowfell, especially with your knowledge of the Feywild. You would probably know, I will say, because you are a Fey Warlock, you would know that the Shadowfell is the opposite mirror of the Feywild.
Yeah, it's like the antithesis to all that is me.
Do we understand as
I'm here.
characters in this world, like how planes work? Like, is that common knowledge, or like through the things that we've learned with Orpheus and all? Like, do we understand that like what a plane is? And, like, that there's travel between.
1000%. It's not common knowledge of the average person, but you know that everything Orpheus was dealing with was of the planes.
Okay.
And you remember that I would say that you guys would know how the planes work.
Okay.
You know everything that Sylvie's talked about the Feywild that has to be another plane of existence.
Okay, sorry, continue.
So that's really kind of creepy because, I have never experienced someone being able to be in a plane and speaking to me in real time, you know? Like, Titania, she sends me dreams. It's when I'm unconscious, right? That's a way for her to be able to communicate with me because it's not like she can be in the Feywild and just be like, look at this cool image of me, Sylvie, I'm Titania. I mean, maybe she could, but I don't think so.
So you think it's uncommon that one Guru is in another plane of existence speaking to us?
Yeah, I think that's really uncommon.
Interesting.
And he was saying something about how it sounds like he's not at his full capacity, and like the Shadowfell's so scary. You know how the Feywild is beautiful, and it's full of goodness and pretty ladies, and the Shadowfell's full of mean things and scary things and bad emotions, and the thing that he said, keep being scared, it's feeding me. Like, what if the fact that Ogway is in such turmoil right now is making him stronger?
Well, we knew he was feeding off of them for years and years. That's why he had the sinners here. You're right.
We don't know why he did it.
Correct.
I don't know why he didn't come.
Strength and power. I mean, we have time. I mean, it sounds like this was clearly a warning, and like you said, he's not ready yet. We have some time still, but this is probably much worse than we thought.
Master Leaf, have we heard anything? Is there any kind of violence right now? Does he have minions running around the town?
I do not see anything. You see he's in a battle stance. His hands are glowing with the radiating glow of the sun. You remember seeing him using an ability that was basically a fireball, but this beautiful, like almost like a mini sun, shredding these zombies. And his hands are glowing, and he's looking around like a predator. And meanwhile, Ickis and his two Aarakocra guardsmen have flown up, and they're flying around, and they're looking all around. And Ma Puckett pulls out this large butcher knife, and she's just looking around, looking mean, and Master Leaf looks at all of you, and he says, I do not hear anything. Maybe we will check the cities. We will check the promenade. Maybe coming in from the swamp or the bayou.
I also think
we can't stay here.
I think the cemetery.
And the best course of action, if we find nothing, is to make sure that each of you, and make sure we tell Ickis as well, to get your sectors under control. Try to lower the amount of worry and panic. We need to make sure that nobody goes out of control here.
Immediately, Master Leaf nods at you and says, Ickis, mobilize! And they fly off immediately. And then Ma Puckett says, come on, boys, we gotta go save the city. And then she kind of leans down, and then she's like, come on, pick me up, boy. And then you hear the Gator folks say, okay, Mama. And he leans down and pulls her up on her shoulders. And then you see the gnome and the Gator just running off, heading towards the Crawdad Quarter.
So, the cemetery, I don't think that it was a coincidence that Ma Puckett mentioned when I had her charmed that was where Guru went to do his bidding for Baron Samedi.
It's also where Taiki took us.
I think that it's very possible that there could be some kind of crossing there. At least that it could be where the material world and the Shadowfell is thinner. And if he's gonna send anything through, that could be the first place he sends it.
I'm all for checking this out, but what concerns me is what you said about not coming back. If we accidentally find some sort of crossing or portal or entry point, and we stumble through it, we might not come back.
I know.
We don't step foot inside the cemetery, but we need to stand right outside on the border of the swamp and make sure nothing's coming in. We can't let more innocent people die.
I agree.
This madness.
How are we going to stop something coming through a portal?
We're going to kill it as soon as it comes through.
Just like we always do.
We can't stop it, but we'll kill it.
Yeah.
We need to go now.
I agree.
I tap my belt and I start. No,
you do that.
I'll start hustling.
So you all are just running through. You hear people screaming. Once you make your way to the Magnolia Promenade,
I'm gonna mount my broom and do an aerial view so I can kind of bird's eye.
Make a perception check, please, for me. At advantage because you have a bird's eye view.
Ooh, I rolled
I made it really bad. Perception, you
Dramatic
say?
dramatic fanatic. 14.
Dracula voice.
No, it's me. Make a perception check.
My perception is shit.
I don't recommend circular dungeons.
I fly
Anyway,
into trees and see nothing
What a
at
classic.
I'm
all.
having flashbacks.
you fly up. Yeah, King Kim's Key. That was fucking 20 sessions. You fly up into the air on your broom, and you see just the streets are filled with shrieking people running towards the harbor. Some people are getting in boats, making their way down. You don't see immediately any kind of action. And then you'll eventually probably fly back down to your party as you're all running through the streets. I need all of you to just make a general acrobatics or athletics check to see, whichever your preference is, to see just how you're doing it. And if you're on your broom, Sylvie, I'll say you can solve it for an arcana check if that's preferable.
29.
Okay.
29.
Did you say at advantage?
No.
23.
19, 23?
I got a 9.
9? Okay. So you're making your way through. You don't see anything as you are running, as you make your way through the streets. And you see people fleeing over the huge bridge, that massive vacant spot where the Hungry Catfish and his huge casino sign once was anchored, empty. You run across the bridge into the Crawdad Quarter. You're shoving past people, and the elves are able to dodge. Sylvie, you're darting through people, maintaining a high enough elevation. Rurak, it's a little bit harder for you, but you're basically, if anyone's in your way, you just kind of, nope, and you're keeping up with the help of your belt from Philip LeBlanc. And you are making your way through, and as you're running through the Crawdad Quarter, you hear people screaming louder. And it's north, the direction of the old Agua Cemetery.
Yep.
Of
course it is.
As people are following you, and then there is an elderly gnome who's kind of hobbling in your direction with a gnome, and he looks at all you. No, don't go in that way. The swamp's come alive. The swamp's come alive, and he's hobbling away in the direction.
Get to safety.
And you start running your way through, and as you're making your way, you start to hear the sounds of the screams behind you, as it seems like it's empty, but you hear smashing, slithering, and as you turn the corner, you remember very clearly where you first met Evangeline. That very same alley where you had turned that corner.
Yep.
You see turning 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 writhing masses of plants. But vines, mud, muck. However, at the center of each of them, 2 glowing eyes. 1 pink, 1 purple, 1 green, 1 orange, slithering towards you. And as they run at you, something turns the corner. And you see the bough of a cypress tree moving. And turn the corner on you. Everyone to roll for initiative. You see a massive glowing cypress tree with his horrific face weeping with glowing sap.
Fucking gross.
And I need to draw the map.
Yeah. I cleaned it off for you.
Thank you.
God.
I didn't have time to draw the map before we got home, but I figured this is going to be a street battle if you guys
I almost didn't clean it off. I was like,
Thank you.
Well, if Mikey needed a map, he would have drawn one. But I was like,
Normally that's the case, but I figured this is
Let me know if I'm in the way here.
This is, so I'm going to say this is we're just going to do really basic street map.
And thank you to everyone for hanging
Thank
out with
you
us
guys.
while, we get fucked over by
you
our
can
DM
breathe
yet
for a
again.
second. Hey everybody, Akani Ordo says, make a tree and get out of here.
Yes.
A classic line from the Boondock Saints. And
I would just
I always said from Back to the Future.
Back to the Future.
So it's a very narrow alley, and we're just going to say that it just keeps going back because I don't feel like doing much more than this.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Is it warm in here or is that the whiskey?
I can turn
A little both. Probably a little column A, a little column B.
It's a little warm.
I am going to say, you see, and this isn't exactly what it looks like. You would be shocked at how little voodoo art there is, I guess, because, never mind. So there's that. And then...
Tangalas, yeah. They're voodoo tangalas.
Basically.
Oh, that's fucking awesome. This is the cypress tree?
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean,
God. An approximation.
An approximation.
Wow.
Where's the... I'm missing one of them.
Fuck.
What is this music from?
Cuphead.
Yeah.
The beginning of it sounded like it was from Earthbound.
Speaking of which,
The opening.
Cuphead on the Switch.
Cuphead on the Switch.
in when? May?
You know, I hate to
I know,
be the
I'd
guy who's like, well, can you check to make sure there's not 2 tokens stuck together on those bad boys?
There it is, the middle.
Okay, the middle. Can you spread it out 2 by 2? Fun fact: Rich and I had the privilege of seeing Cuphead performed live with the composer at MagFest. It was unbelievable. One of the greatest concerts I've been to. Anyway, so you are all facing, and you guys can place your minis anywhere down the path.
We're here, right?
Are all the
Yeah.
minis
We don't have our
up
minis.
there?
They're up
Apologize. So we have...
Man, we are an unprepared group
You
tonight.
guys didn't think there would be
I didn't-
combat.
I did
There's
not
no
think
way
there
there's
was
going to be
combat.
combat in
Me
this session.
personally, I didn't think there'd be combat.
Also, you juked us out of our boots because you didn't draw the map.
Yeah. I was like, clean slate, time to RP.
I'm juking. I'm
It's a full
juking you
RP
motherfuckers.
session.
Okay, so I'm gonna need 20 to 25.
28.
So hold on.
No, sorry. 9 plus 17. What the hell is that? 26.
26, got it.
20.
20, 15 to 20.
17.
17.
17.
Rodek,
11.
11. Okay, I'm just gonna do 1.
That's good. Thanks. It's nail polish remover.
Okay, I'm just gonna do 1. Okay, hold on. 24, 2, 24. Got it. And then, big fucker, what are you gonna roll? Oh, damn, that's awful.
Oh, big fucker.
He's going last, and this is he's not a big bad, but I'm just using the big bad thing for him. And then, boink.
Bad boy. That's just terrifying.
The Shamblers will be going after Sylvie. Got it. Okay, Vanders, you're up. You're seeing as the shambling voodoo magic animated plant, the swamp come alive, is charging directly towards you.
Thank you for that,
Perfect.
Wiley. That's a really sweet comment. Thank you
Oh,
so
thank
much.
you, Wiley. I really appreciate that. Really,
Thank
yeah.
you very
Cheers,
much.
man. Cheers.
Y'all been killing the RP and voicings tonight. Really appreciate it.
That means a lot
Welcome to Legend of
my
Avantris.
little heart.
Thank you.
We love our voices. Vanders, you're up.
Alright, I'm gonna say, I think it's time we blow this scene, get everybody the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam. And I'm gonna use my Bounty Hunter Bebop. Yes!
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, description? Do I feel anything?
You do that, and you channel it, and you're used to using the infernal loophole of Dis, and then there was a whisper in your head, and a horrible sickness in your body. However, you channel this dark power. You feel in your soul that you know how to use this. You don't feel sick. You feel powerful.
Oh, baby.
As you draw your rapier, and you go ahead.
Alright, I can move 3 times my speed, so it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I think that's...
You can also just move up to him and move away.
Well, so that's what I was trying to do. So I can move up. I guess he's like right there.
Yeah, and you can bonus action dash and then move triple your speed again, I would believe.
I don't think... No, my bonus action is the ability. So I'm just going to move up to him, back, and then in again, just to like... I can move plenty. I can move all the way up there. So I'm just going to go up to him, draw the attack of opportunity, and move in.
Okay.
So then it'll be, so for all of these guys, it's going to be an enemy that can make an attack of opportunity against you must make a full attack action against itself, whether it has used its reaction this turn or not.
Okay.
So they all have to make one attack against themselves.
That's going to hit on number 1. Number 2 is going to hit himself.
They haven't done it.
Number 3 is going to hit itself. Number 4 is going to miss on itself. Number 5 is going to hit itself. Number 6 is going to hit itself. So all but number 4 are going to hit themselves. And so you see Vanders pull out his rapier, and he's almost dancing. You haven't seen this kind of rhythmic dance move since you've seen Emiria fight. But whatever this power that the Cloven gave to Vandris is just empowering him, and you're looking at him and you see him taunting, and there's almost this devilishness in his eyes. His eyes almost kind of flare with this orange glow as he's looking at them, and the grin is almost otherworldly as these monsters are so horrifically infuriated by these movements. They smash in, they lash their vines, massive tree bough swipes in, and as he does it, he effortlessly guides with his sword and dances, and he's redirecting their attacks into themselves. Okay, that's the description. And so, now we're going to do the constrict. So I need to do this.
Can they constrict themselves?
They are the ones that are hit are all tangled up. That's not even kidding. Okay.
That's great.
Paul, I just need to do some math here. Okay, that's going to be 10 points. Holy shit, dude.
It probably could have not been a better time for you to use that than being first
Yes.
initiative and being able to run straight.
That's why I was going to use it. I figured I might as well take it for a test drive.
Yeah. How often can you use that?
Once
Every
a
7
week.
days.
Once a week. So if I use it now, there's also a good chance that I'll have it in time for the next important thing.
Okay.
But we'll see.
That's what I was gonna ask.
So, as you're running... Oh, I need to see what
We
this
have no
motherfucker
idea.
hits.
No.
Did the big motherfucker hit himself? He's going to hit himself. Is he going to hit himself? He does hit himself. Oh, Jesus. Do I even have this many?
Uh-oh.
Do I even have this many? The DM says.
I love and hate that.
Yes. In this case, I love it.
8, 9. I need one more. As you see this massive voodoo cypress tree slam down on itself as a bunch of these shambling vine creatures are all wrapping themselves up, and they're all grappling themselves, I'll say, for one round. Holy shit, I apologize. So, 6, 15, 22, 23, 25, 20, 32, 36, 40, 46, 50. As the bow smashes into itself, and you see bark slamming into itself as it does a fuck ton of damage to itself.
Excellent.
And then my attack is for 19.
That's an action.
It's a bonus. You may use a bonus action to move up to.
There you go. Yeah.
So I'm going to attack.
Yeah, okay.
19.
19, that hits, yeah. I forgot it was a bonus action.
I didn't roll as well as I wanted to. That's 10, 11, 12, 13, plus
So it's
8.
not ignited, though.
Correct, because
Yeah.
I had to use my bonus
Correct,
action to use the
correct,
thing.
got
So, sorry, I miscounted. I lost my count. 10.
Sorry.
That's okay. 13 plus 8 is what, 21? Plus 6 is 27 points of damage.
27 points of damage. As you stab your rapier in after redirecting this massive cypress tree to smash into itself. You do a lot of damage here. Jesus Christ. And it is not immune to any of it now. Or resistant. Okay.
Yes! That's my turn.
Okay, that's your turn. Sylvia, you're up.
I am going to see that and just cast Eldritch Blast on number 3, one of them.
Got it.
That was cocked fine. And that's a 30 to hit.
It hits.
13 points of damage, number 3.
As you blast number 3 with the first arc, it is looking very weak as it is
For the
limping
next
along.
one, and that is going to be
Their AC is
a
12.
24.
Yep, AC is 12.
And that is going to be 13.
13 points of damage. You blast. The second arc slams into it. You see this undulating, green, gaseous Eldritch Blast smash in, and it completely vaporizes this shambling vine
The third
creature.
one's going to the other one, and that's going to be a 15.
Number 5.
Number
Number
5?
five.
Got it. 15 to hit. It does hit. What's the damage?
And that is 11.
It is very weak as it blasts into it, and you see, pardon me, you see that the dancing lights along along this mass of swampy vines. You see that there's this horrible putrid mud and swamp water falling off of it. They're all covered in ivy, and it is very weak though. However, with that, it is these shambling creatures. And
They're
then-
restrained, right?
They're going to
All
be
but
restrained, all but 4. So they're going to be restrained, and then they're going to unrestrain themselves. And then 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, and then... Actually, he's going to stand right here.
He's going to stand right here. And then with that, that's all they can. So then they all are unrestrained. They're all unrestrained. And so with that, it is Annulin's turn.
Cool. I am going to volley from here and hit these 3.
You do that.
See ya!
So 1 and 2 both hit.
Okay.
That hits too. And no crits. So
1, 2, and 6.
1, 2, and 6. Okay.
And damages.
Already been damaged.
They
They're all damaged.
They all should be.
They're all damaged.
Right?
Only 4 is undamaged.
So just pick one.
And 3 is dead.
Colossus damage on.
Hold on, which one? You said they're all. Okay.
All 3 of those should be damaged.
Yes, they are. Alright, so number 1's gonna get double damage. So, whatever that is. 13 plus 8. So 21 damage to number 1.
21 damage. You fire up an arrow, it flies down, piercing through, the lights go out, and it crumples to the ground. You see a splash.
This is Agwe!
9 damage to number 2.
Still holding on. As the arrow sinks in, pierces through the knot of vines, and you see that the lights are flickering as it's very weak.
And 10 damage to number 6.
10 numbers into 6, it's the same thing. They both seem to be about the same level of weakness. As these arrows are flying in, and they're still shambling these groups of vines with these strange floating voodoo eyes. With that, it's Rodek's turn.
For my bonus action, I will tap the boar on Philip's Parting Triumph and start to speed through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll turn and I will attack.
And they can't take opportunity attacks, right?
No, we cannot.
Because they've already used
but
their
Why do I give you guys these items? I'm like, oh, this will be fun. Oh, never mind.
22.
Once a week. Once a week.
Well, no, I mean, this is an excellent.
14 damage to number 4.
14 damage to number. Oh, so he's not been damaged yet.
No.
So you have King Krem's sword. You slice into it, and you cut through a bunch of the vines. You get this putrid swamp smell, and this horrible algae sprays you. It's looking weak. Well, it's not looking that weak, actually.
Thanks for the clarification.
Sorry, it's not. It's
I'll use
looking
my
okay.
second attack. I'll make it a power attack.
You do that.
14?
14 hits. It's AC 12.
Okay. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 23 damage.
23 damage to number
4.
Yeah, you cut this motherfucker right down the middle. The lights go out and it just falls apart into just a matting of vine and swamp mud and algae and swamp water.
So that's 5, 6,
8.
7, 8.
Well, depending on how you're counting, I guess, but
I'll,
I never did the diagonals.
And then I will stop there and I'll say, Avantris, finish him! And I will use Commander Strike for my third attack. So go ahead and if you would like to use a reaction, you may attack him again.
What? What?
And because my turn and not yours, you can trigger sneak attack damage.
What? This is the best day of my life! Just wait.
Damn it.
No, it might hit.
It's a 13.
13, it misses.
Oh, no.
I don't. I'll
stab.
I'll let it slide.
You have lucky.
I know. I don't want to. I'm gonna let it. I'm gonna
You
let
should
it
probably
go.
use luck. Anyway,
That was really
okay,
cool,
it's
though.
fine. It's fine.
I'm gonna let this one go.
And
Sorry,
you stab
buddy.
into
Did you
a
get
piece
that?
of really thick
I
bark.
did, yeah, when I swapped
And
out.
as this creature, you see that it has this strange face. It almost seems to be crying in this horrible, sappy, glowing neon fluorescent colors. And you see it go, and you see the mouth kind of rip open out of it. And everyone to make a dexterity saving throw as it
Everybody?
everyone.
Dex, you say?
Everyone, as it sprays this horrible, multicolored.
Hey!
It's nice knowing you guys.
Well, all of a sudden I'm not rolling very well. Oh, please. I got a 12.
And natural 1.
2 fails.
I got a 9.
Fail.
I have a question.
I have a question.
I got a 21, but my question is this a creature or a magically created plant?
It's a creature, but its type is a plant.
So if I had an advantage against plants that are magically created,
I would say I'll give it to you.
Oh,
just
boy.
because.
Okay.
12,
Well, hold on. Let me finish that sentence because maybe that
18,
doesn't get
19,
against plants that are magically
21,
created or manipulated to impede movement.
24, 29.
Is that just
So
like
That
a
sounds
bramble?
like
That's
that
like
sounds like a
yeah.
vine spell.
That's what
36.
someone creating plant growth
36.
to do difficult terrain.
36.
Oh,
Okay.
so there would be like
38.
thorns like stopping you, or like trying to
Yeah,
hold
like
you.
going through like a thicket of thorns that
Right,
were
sure.
created to slow you down. So not
Probably-
47 points of damage if you failed.
Jesus.
Well, I take
Christ.
half.
Half, yeah, you take half. So
Okay.
47 points of damage is a spray of, and as it hits you, it is horrific, although it's glowing and colorful. This feels very familiar to
That's not good.
3 of you.
Is it poison?
It's acid. It feels like when Guru used his breath on you.
Oh shit.
Hold on, is it half on pass?
Yes, it's half on pass.
What is that? 24?
Yes, 24.
23.
23.
I thought it was 47. You rounded
Half of
right.
that is
47.
23.
Round down.
Yeah,
Round down. I didn't
round
know.
it down. Correct.
20.
And that's his turn. It's Vanish's turn.
I'm just going to dance around him, behind him.
Oh,
Can I squeeze through there or no? Can I
Yeah, you probably
Yeah.
could.
He's got a little.
not? No? I don't think I can.
I don't think he would be able to.
He's,
I mean,
he's taking up the whole thing.
he's a big fucker.
Yeah, I don't think I can get past him. Come on. All right, that's a 22.
That'll hit.
Can I use my bonus action now to
To what?
for Edward?
Yeah, yeah.
No, not Uno Farto at 3 seconds.
Uno Barjo at 317!
So I as my
All of
bonus
us are
as my bonus action, I say for Edward.
Okay,
And
for Edward.
I'm gonna make my attack. Jesus,
Oh,
I am
man,
rolling
that's
like
rough, buddy.
garbage.
That's rough, buddy.
That's gonna be
I'm sorry.
10,
7.
20, 23.
Average.
Probably.
Oh, that's a 7. Actually.
23 plus 5 is 28, plus 6 is 34.
Holy shit.
34 points of damage.
34 points of damage, so that's...
Healing by Andrews.
You
Saved on me.
you ignite Edward's final chapter. It ignites in this spectral blue flame, and you run up and you stab it deep. And as you stab it, this sickly, multicolored sap just spills out of it. It's not harming you, but
Yeah.
it lunges back. This massive cypress tree that you saw so many of in the swamp is just kind of lunging about. His strange face is still weeping those horrible sappy tears. It's looking. Yes, not looking great. I mean, it's okay, but it's not great. Sylvia, you're up.
I am going to fuck my life up. I didn't realize that I was next, so I wasn't prepared.
It's like that
Say
meme. It's like that meme, Eldritch Blast or Eldritch Blast. Like,
I am going to.
That was like half.
I am going to cast slow on all the things that are up right now.
Oh shit.
Okay, you do that. What do I gotta roll?
Seems
They
pretty
have
good.
to make a wisdom
Wisdom
save,
save.
Including Big Fucker?
Including big fucker.
So big fucker, I'm gonna roll first. Wisdom is +1. That'll
Is
be
that his-
7.
Is that his canonical name?
Big
7. So we're doing number 8. If you could mark those.
You'll find Big Fucker.
It's 6, 2, and 5 are left.
14 is 6.
So he fails.
8 is 15. They all fail.
Okay.
They all fail.
So all of them have a -2 to their AC
Nice.
and dex saving throws. They cannot use their reactions. On their turn, they can only use an action or a bonus action, but not both. Regardless of their abilities or magic items, it can't make more than one melee or ranged attack during its turn.
Nice.
If it attempts to cast a spell with a casting time of 1 action, they have to roll a d20. On an 11 or higher, the spell doesn't take effect until the creature's next turn, and the creature must use its action on that turn to complete the spell. If it can't, the spell is wasted. So essentially, it loses its action because it's trying to cast it, it's taking longer because it's slow.
Got it. Okay, so you see Sylvie cast out her hand, and this kind of strange, it almost looks as if a poof of just this strange spectral gas that comes over them, and all of a sudden these plants start to move much slower, and you are all allegedly able to avoid it. So with that, it is the shambling vine folk.
Yeah, it's up to 6 creatures of my choice.
Holy fuck, that's fantastic.
That's great.
So we're going to get 2 on Rodek and 1 is going to be on Vandris.
My favorite moment in all.
Oh, disadvantage because of your bullshit.
Is in episode 54 when Sylvie casts slow on Big Fucker.
17. 17. Does that hit Avantris?
No, that's a miss.
So he's gonna move up one space to you. So Rodek, you're gonna miss with the 4. Holy fuck! And then okay. So all of them miss horribly, and they're useless. Annual, you're up.
Okay. I am once again going to volley from this spot to hit 2 and 6.
Wonderful. You do that. You fire up, and it's like the kind of the hunter thing where World of Warcraft. You just do this, and then just.
We need a wiki right now.
17
so we can
a bunch.
Canonize? Is that canonized?
Which one's less
Big
wounded?
Fucker? The mini ball?
Number versus numbers. What and what?
2 and 6.
2 and 6. They are exactly the same.
Yee! Okay, number 2 gets double.
Okay.
So that is 12 plus 8 is 20 damage.
He gets completely obliterated as your arrow fires down from the heavens, and he hits shambles out and dies.
And then the other one gets 15 damage.
Once again, just horribly dies, horrifically.
And then I'm just gonna start pushing up a little bit here.
Rodek, you're up.
I will power attack this guy.
Okay, you do that.
His AC is 10 now.
19, yeah.
Yeah, it's 10.
So fine.
He has 2 hit
6.
points left.
Yeah.
He's dead.
He's dead.
26.
And you just chop him in half.
Yeah!
As Big Fucker.
Hee-haw!
The doggies be hitched. Hee-haw! What's wrong with you?
Okay.
He started it.
Hee-haw!
Hee-haw!
It's my favorite class.
Power attack a 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23.
23, that'll hit, yeah. His AC, I'll say with slow, is
minus 2.
Is 14 with the minus 2.
So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 23 damage.
Okay.
That was 2 attacks. So I'm going to do my 3rd attack. Power attack as well.
Okay. Level 12,
14.
ladies and gentlemen.
So that
Okay.
hits.
That
Really?
hits, yeah. Only because of slow.
Well, okay. No more combat.
Start dialing up the
Well, this is fun.
the pain.
24 damage.
It's looking rough as if you're hacking into it, you're stabbing into it,
that's
singe.
I'll use my bonus action to attack again. Power attack.
He gone!
Well,
He gone, baby!
Goodbye. Natural 20.
I'm gonna make it a menacing attack.
I'm
Why not?
doing this by the books. What I
Yeah,
did for the health,
yeah.
we're gonna do it by the
Little
books.
you'll know this is just the word. Probably.
You have a long way to go. You're not gonna kill him on the stat. I can promise you that.
So he has to make a whiz saving throw.
Got 11.
Okay, he fails, so he's afraid.
No shit. He fails.
Oh no! Run from the door!
I don't
That's a lot of
reroll any,
damage.
and that's good. So that's 9. Plus
I'm assuming that's a 3 out
10
of 30.
is 19.
Plus 7 is 26.
23, 26, 36 damage.
That's fine.
Oh, no, 30, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42 damage.
Damn.
As you hack and hack and hack, the sap is pouring out of it. It is looking. It's fragments of wood and algae and swamp muck algae are flying everywhere. It's looking very weak. It's its turn now.
Oh, fuck.
And it can do one thing.
I look at Rodak and I'm like,
It can do one thing, and it's a disadvantage, and it's going to make an attack on Avantris.
Disadvantage.
Disadvantage. That is still going to be
No way.
a 19.
That's a hit.
Into lumberjack
A 19.
Oh, God.
And so as it slams down onto you,
I'm going to uncanny
Yeah.
dodge.
you're going to want to.
You rip a top button open.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait, hold on. 1,
Is it twice your maximum health to instantly kill you, or twice your current health to
Your
instantly
maximum.
kill you? Okay. Alright, so as long as he doesn't hit me for 200 and like 70, I have to do some math. I'll tell my head. I should be all right here
You're probably good.
because I'm still gonna have it. So he would have to
What's
do a
your
lot.
max health?
19,
87.
19,
So he would have to do 4 times that to kill me
25,
Oh.
because I'm gonna take half.
25,
I gotcha.
33,
I've got more
36, 37, 37, 42,
Anyone's way better.
48.
Max health.
Yeah,
I mean,
Rangers
50.
are in general.
So
Mine's DD.
54 points of bludgeoning damage.
So-
Oh, wait, hold on. 54 plus 57 points of bludgeoning damage.
Is
So-
that to all of
So
us?
half.
No, just to me halved, which would be 28.
Yes. As it slams down on you, the massive cypress tree, its roots are kind of running out, slams down on you, and it can only do one thing. So, because it's slow, so Avantris, you're up.
Fucking love slow.
I'll
good spell.
stab it in the face.
Yeah, you do that. You do that.
Are you kidding?
The natural one.
Add it to the dice.
Add it to the dice.
I am rolling so poorly tonight on my
You have
rolls.
lucky.
No,
Okay.
no, I'm saving it.
Think that
I'm
for
saving
every
it.
time you fail,
I'm
you
saving
help
it.
us when we're gonna really need it.
Sylvia, you're up.
I'm gonna throw all of my glitter lances at his face.
Yep.
And so all of them hit.
14 is his AC with slow.
Yeah, I rolled natural 19, 18, and 15.
That'll
so,
hit, yeah, all of them. Just roll damage for all of them, please.
14.
So it's 20,
32.
27.
32.
How would you like to do this?
Yes.
I want to shoot my glitter lances in up through him, popping those like colored eyes.
Yeah,
Um,
you do that.
and I want it to basically pop him to the point that he starts blooming into beautiful flowers.
Oh.
Okay, so you said boosh, 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 all three.
Bang.
You look like he's opening
Like he's
his
gonna
mouth
vomit,
again
but
to
then it's a
vomit again
bouquet.
at you, but and all of these horrible blasts of eldritch blasts rocket up and glitter lance. Almost, they rocket up and they almost make it look like it's trees sprouting these green flowers, and then it just and you see its massive roots stumble around and spilling with all this horrific sap, and it just goosh, and it crashes down on the ground with a massive thud.
Nice.
Very nice.
Nice job.
Very nice.
No more combat. You are standing, and things are actually, I will say, are quiet.
I'm like wiping the acid off of me, like this stuff
I'll
burns.
tap
She's
my
really
belt.
got you. Are you okay?
I'm okay. I've been better, but I'm all right.
We need to keep going. We need. Can you?
I'm worried that that's not all there is.
I agree. Just
Do we still hear screaming or anything?
Group perception check, please.
14.
18.
15?
Ah,
Right.
21.
You all listen,
6.
and as
so bad.
you hear screaming and
Oh,
And-
actually, it's 22.
and-
I can't roll lower than 10.
strained voices behind you, but as you look ahead, you hear nothing. You start to hear the crickets and the cicadas, the croaking of the bullfrog, the cry of the whippoorwill of the bayou up ahead, the rippling and splashing, the rustling of the leaves as the wind flies through, the clouds that had previously formed the massive face of Rougarou, the voracious doom, have parted. The moon just past full hangs above you. You hear sounds peaceful.
We still need to carry on to the cemetery.
We need to at least get to the edge of the swamp.
We should just make sure that it's okay. It's high moon. Thanks, Nose.
Oh boy. Let's go. And I'll continue onward down the path and
Okay.
just getting to the edge of where like the path to the cemetery
Okay.
starts.
You make your way, and you creep through, and you see that very familiar metal archway. Most of the letters missing, but very clearly meaning to say the old Ogway Cemetery. The last time that you passed through here from this direction was shoulder to shoulder allies with Taiki Heartseeker. You listen and you look. You look down the way, it's dark. The moonlight is barely able to pass through the canopy of the bayou trees. It sounds quiet. Still. Almost as if this was just a warning shot.
Oh, Taiki, may you Reese's Pieces.
Good night, Wiley. Thanks for stopping by.
Oh, night,
Thanks for
Wiley.
hanging out.
Thanks for coming, man. Really appreciate the kind words.
I feel like he's just fucking with us like he always does.
I do have a question. I know you have some experiences with other planes and especially the Feywilds. Mm-hmm. Are there any visible signs of a potential crossing or weak spot between the planes? Is there anything that we can look out for so that we don't accidentally stumble through it?
Make an Arcana check.
21.
You know that places like crypts, graveyards, cemeteries are generally considered to be stronger foci of shadow crossing. Foci of shadow crossings. But as far as exactly what it would be, your knowledge is of the stories that you've heard of the Shadowfell. And you know that it would probably be pretty dangerous to just go in here willy-nilly without guidance. And you could easily basically be passing across a crypt and find your way into the Shadowfell with no way back.
Yeah, so when I found my way into the Feywild, I was just following a will-o-wisp. And I just happened to stumble into it. I didn't see it coming. I just realized once I was there that I wasn't home anymore. And I think that with this cemetery, I think we risk that here too. And that it's best if we don't walk this land without someone who would know more about it than I do.
All right, then I guess for now we don't cross the threshold.
Unless you want to go swimming with liches.
And I hold up I hold up Edward's final chapter and I tap the gate, like motioning the arc, like we don't pass this threshold.
Yeah, I've had
Clang.
pretty bad luck falling into portals, so I really don't want to take a chance on it.
Yeah. None of them have killed you yet, but this will be the one that does it.
Can you use the wand to see if this is some kind of portal, this gate?
I don't think that's the kind of thing it works on. That's more a spell somebody casts than an opening between planes.
Thank you for making me not say it, the Dungeon Master being the asshole that shuts that down. I'm like, thank you for...
I mean, it literally wouldn't work on it as a DM, I would know that, so...
Well,
I appreciate that.
If things appear to be safe for now, maybe we can make our way back. It doesn't seem like there's anything else for us to do here.
Is there some way? I don't want to leave Lumi here. Can you use...
What? Why would nobody said we were going to leave Lumi here?
I'm wondering,
Why would you
do we
start
need
a
to
sentence?
watch this spot
Why
to
would
make
you
sure
start
nothing
a
comes
sentence?
out?
Why would you start a sentence? Wait, well, I don't want to leave. No, we're not going to leave Lumi here. Why would you...
I don't want to even entertain the idea. That's why
Okay,
I
but you're
mentioned
currently entertaining it.
You can cast a spell
I can
where you can
cast
spy
spells.
on things, right?
Yeah.
Can you put it on a place instead of a person that you can look at?
Yeah.
How long does that last?
Let me consult my pixie.
As you do this, as you consult your pixie, you realize that horrible, putrid smell that you first smelled in the misty morning Master Leaf Tea Shop is still lingering. And it seems to hang in the air every inch that you move. Putrid swamp all around you.
Does it smell
It
stronger
lasts-
here than it did in his shop?
Smells just as strong.
Just as strong. Okay.
It lasts 10 minutes. And Lumi has informed me that you are wrong. I cannot cast it on a place.
Well,
Out of character, you can?
No. I can cast it on a creature.
There's a saving throw, so it inherently will not be able to be a place.
Inherently wouldn't work on it.
What's the spell that lets you put the pile of shit
Clairvoyance.
in the... Oh, that's what it is.
Yes, which I also could take just
I just know Scanlan had like a spectral pile of shit in the corner
Mhm.
that like spied on people.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's clairvoyance.
Got it.
Oh, God.
well, nonetheless, it
It's
was a
what
good idea.
Whimsy used to spy on
Like,
the
if anything
goblins.
starts coming through, I
It's
think
a,
we're gonna
like,
know
10
it.
mile or a mile range.
I don't think it's maybe a bad idea to see if we can get any of the factions to maybe volunteer some people to just keep an eye on this place and tell them to keep the townsfolk away and make sure no one goes in there or comes out.
Yeah.
Maybe we could throw Ickis a bone and, a couple coins to have a post out here.
I don't
Make him feel
necessarily.
useful.
Don't necessarily want to get in the habit of bribing this creature.
It's not a bribe, it's a service.
We don't want to be funneling him money because he's going to expect more. I think this is an opportunity for them to step up as a group and make some decisions as leaders and post some people out here.
That's fine.
And, I mean, hopefully Ma will be more willing than the others to at least keep watch. It's right on the border of her territory. I mean, it'd be silly for her to leave it unguarded, so I think we need to let her know right away.
I agree. Should we start to make our way back?
Let's go. Let's hope they haven't gone far.
As you turn around, you hear the hurried footsteps coming up the way, and you see a pot-bellied gator folk holding on to like a leather hat, and it's the same one that had been in the thing. And he runs up and he says, he looks at you and he looks at all the dead plants and like, please tell me that you didn't kill those horrible monster things and it's just a coincidence that this is the case.
Would you prefer them still be alive?
No, I prefer that. I just don't have horrible monsters coming out of our district.
No.
Well, there aren't any anymore. We killed them.
But there could be more.
I'll tell Ma right away. Away.
Can you have her station someone in front of the cemetery to make sure that if anything comes in and out, we're informed immediately?
And do not let anyone go into that cemetery.
Not even a step.
Or into the cemetery.
Oh, I'll run to Glowbug Junction right away. I will.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you so much for killing these monsters.
What's your name, sir?
My name's Alabaster Slim.
Thank you, Alabaster Slim. Can I call you Slim?
You can call me whatever you want. You killed that horrible tree monster.
All right, Slim Jim, make haste, please.
I will. And he grabs his hat and he shuffles off. And his tail is
Hold
wagging.
on, wait, one more thing.
Yeah, yes.
If any of those horrible, gigantic tree things come alive again, don't stand in a line and try to stay away from its mouth.
I'll tell some of the sneakier gnome folk to throw knives at. After Evangeline, may she rest in peace.
Mm-hmm. Yep. May she Reese's Pieces.
May she Reese's Pieces. That's what I said. We'll try to be sneaky and try to throw knives at him.
That sounds lovely.
Well, I'll tell Ma right away.
Thank you.
And he starts running off.
Smack him on the back as he runs.
And his tail kind of flaps up, and he starts running, holding on his hat.
I really like gator folk.
Yeah, they're alright.
What to do, everybody.
Pretty meta. We head back, I think, to the Misty Morning, probably, just to convene with. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
What, the Misty Morning?
Yeah.
Why would we go back there?
Just to inform Master Leaf of what happened.
Okay.
Is that fine? Back in character?
Back in character, guys.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I guess if you want to. I feel like he probably has an idea, especially if Ma sent someone out to meet us. She must have had an idea.
Well, why don't you send Lumi and we can head back to the boat?
You stop telling me what to do with my pixie.
Alright, then let's just do whatever you want.
I don't care. I was just shocked that you said the tea place.
I think we should go back to the tea place and let him know we've taken care of it and he's the one I trust the most.
Then go.
Alright.
I didn't say
let's
that
go.
to.
I will
I was
go.
just shocked.
You run through and you make it after a long time. The moon is sinking past its zenith. As I find my music here.
Your playlist change.
My playlist change. DJing as a DM is the most fun part.
It's no coincidence they both start with D.
You know what else starts with D?
Leafy says, I'm here, child. You can just call me
Didgeridoo.
Masters.
Excellent art form.
Oh my god.
Good old Leafy.
Good old Leafy.
Good old Leafy. Master Leafy Tree from Vine.
So, as you enter the Misty Morning, you make your way up the stairs into the room, and where Leaf is looking over a map on his table, and he turns and he sees you and he says, "Well, what did you find? We could not find any danger anywhere."
We found things. Animated swamp plants.
Beasts.
Are you saying that this is Mr. Guru and
This is
Samadhi?
Almost certainly.
Without a doubt.
Yeah,
There's
with
no
Ood
denying
and
it.
Doot.
I thought our worries were over with Alphonse.
So did we.
My expectations were subverted.
I hate you so much.
Mine too. Mine too, Master Leaf.
We've already informed one of Ma's helpers.
Where did you find them?
Well,
They were running out towards the cemetery.
Yeah, it appears as though the cemetery might be a very dangerous place, and we've warned everyone to stay as far away from it as possible.
I will send some of my shadow walkers.
Thank you.
Please do. It needs to be
on lockdown.
We let Ma Tucket know.
Oh!
I don't trust.
With the gator folk that down there, it's locked down with the croc down. Or something. It was a lot better in my
I think it's very offensive if you call them crocs.
Why?
Because alligators are not crocodiles.
No?
Have you ever met an alligator or crocodile lizard folk? Have you ever encountered... You probably have never encountered a crocodile lizard folk.
Oh,
or have a whole arc having to deal with that.
No, maybe not.
Probably not. Okay.
Guess you're right.
They'd be very offended.
Needless to say, do not allow any of your people or anyone to step foot into that cemetery.
Not a toe.
I will not. No, absolutely.
Not a
I will
claw.
tell them to watch it.
Not a crocodile paw.
Not a crocodile paw. I've heard the story of the crocodile paw.
It's actually a claw.
We have crocodiles in where I come from in Yulong. No alligators, but I have gotten used to them here.
What about the Chinese alligator?
Only crocodiles.
All right. Well, I told them, but these things aren't just weak plants. They're truly powerful, and they have the same powers that Guru's dragon form had. The same acid breath. So just let them know to watch out for that.
I will. They will stay on the roofs and they will sneak. And I am confident in my warriors to take them out. If I must join myself, I will.
That's great.
And if you need anything else, please send for us right away.
Yeah.
I will. I will send Jade.
And we will keep an eye out for her.
Please do.
And if you see Robbie Rooster, please let him know that his curfew is 10.
Come on home, Robbie.
If I see Robbie Rooster, I will tell him his curfew is 10. He didn't laugh. The DM laughed. He said that completely straight. God damn it.
Well, it's time for us to be hitting the old dusty trail.
He sounds like a rotten rooster.
Yep. Yeah. Yep.
But
Seems.
just ask him what you think about villains.
Yep.
If I see him, I will ask him for sure.
Definitely time to be hitting the old dusty trail.
It's quite late at this point. I mean,
Robbie might be at the ship right now.
It's true. It's true.
It's certainly
It's past 10.
Oh, and if you see
It's
my
definitely
ring
past
of the
that.
rooster, can you make sure that it gets thrown away and burnt to crisps?
I will keep
Oh
an
wait,
eye
don't put it
out.
up to your eye. Mine's still puffing.
I think I will pick it up with a cloth and throw it into my trash can.
That's for the best.
Well, I'm gonna get going now. It's been nice.
Goodbye, Leaf from Vine. We'll see you
Goodbye.
on the
Thank you for
morrow.
continually saving my home. And
It's the least we can do.
he bids you farewell, and you make your way through Little Yulong down through the Magnolia Promenade, and you arrive at the Knight's Patience.
I'm
around
gonna go to my
midnight.
room and go to sleep.
Okay.
Well, good night, friends. I've got to go put some ointment on my eye, and I'll see you bright and early in the morning.
Apply it liberally.
I will. I don't know who that is, but I will.
all right, it's late. We need rest, and we have another important meeting tomorrow evening.
Okay. You all enjoy a long rest.
Yay.
You all go unless there's anything else you would like to do before you head to bed.
Not a single thing.
Not a single thing.
Just,
I think today has been enough.
So you have enjoyed your day, and you awake, and you are all meeting in the galley. A hearty breakfast is served for you. Captain Isaacs even comes down and tells you that Captain Amalia okayed for a ship that was heading in this direction anyway to bring over your animals, if you so chose. They would leave in several days. It would take them 2 weeks to arrive. But he'll be waiting to see if there's any further orders.
Well, we have less than 48 hours at this point until we receive help from you-know-who.
And tonight we get to go talk to Madame Zostra.
But at the very least, in 2 days, we'll find out where we need to head.
Exactly.
So if you can wait 2 days, Captain,
I can.
We will be able to tell you in 2 days' time.
And they can bring Rodek's wagon too?
They can. Allegedly, the man of the house had already gone out and purchased it. It's very difficult. Allegedly, it was very difficult to communicate with him. But they eventually got the information they needed.
Good to hear.
Well, that's good news. I'm glad he picked it up. Alright, well...
I don't know about you, but I am going to enjoy a nice evening on the docks. So when I suntan, my freckles come out. And I want to be as chipper as can be before I see Madame Zastra.
To be fair, she's right. We really don't have anything else to do. I think what I'm going to do is spend time cleaning off my armor and weapons and just trying to make sure that all of my stuff is not in disarray after that horrible attack.
Yeah.
Is there anywhere on the ship for us to, like, draw, like, a bath and, like, relax and clean up?
Yeah,
I would have to go to town to find, like, baths?
I would say that you probably know the amenities in the town. There'd probably be a couple of very nice bathhouses in the Magnolia Promenade. Some of certain repute that you may or may not want to frequent. But,
oh, yeah.
But you could also draw a bath on the ship as well.
I'm going to spend my day just doing what I said. Basically, like, cleaning up my armor, making sure that all of my weapons and armor are in good repair. And then, I'm going to, like, without my armor and stuff, I'm going to, like, put on normal clothes and, like, head to the baths and, like, try to find, like, a place where I can spend the day relaxing.
Okay.
And, like, treat yourself.
I will... Yeah, I'll probably just go back to my room for a little bit, and I'll take off my glove, and I'll look at the ring. What does it look like?
You pull out the ring. You pull out your hand, rather. You pull off the glove. And you inspect the ring. Seems to be a blank signet ring. What are you going to be doing with it?
Good question. I will, I guess I'll just look at it and really focus on it and see if I can make it show that, like, anvil and flame.
Religion check with advantage. Whatever mechanical thing you would like to tell me, the DM would be very delightful.
What am I doing? 16.
As you are looking at it, you're focusing and you're praying. You are closing your eyes tightly, and you hear a clang of hammer on anvil. And you look down, you feel warmth around your finger, and once again, the signet ring is glowing. The symbol of the anvil and the flame. Glowing with this beautiful molten orange color. And it stays for a bit, and you feel like a power kind of come over you. As you feel like you're almost controlling this.
I attempt to recreate what I felt the day before.
Is that a thing?
Yes.
So as soon as you feel that, you attempt to recreate, you grip your hand and put your other hand out, and once again the ring glows orange, and the great symbol of the anvil and the flame glow, and suddenly the flame of a great forge spins around you, and you feel like you're actually controlling it.
I think I know what this is. And I'll stop and I'll say, Warden, I think I know what I have to do. Thank you. And I'm a level 1 cleric.
And that is how Rodek multi-class into cleric.
Yep. It's a 40
fight.
You cheeky monkey.
That's so exciting.
Thank you, Forge Breaker.
Thank you, Forge Breaker. Wow, you did not. I did not hear that. We just revealed.
I'm not knowing anything in this game. Like,
We like to have kind of the meta things be at least a little bit story. You know. Welcome, guys. So, the whole town is threatened by a horrible voodoo shadow man and a horrible Dracolich that stitched together, and it's not looking good. But they're going to meet some creepy fortune teller. So, what's happening?
What I was referencing about knowing what I have to do, I'm going to pray and kind of getting this divine knowledge, prepare my spells.
Suddenly, you feel like you know what you must do. Your ring glows whenever you focus on it. The power of Moradin flows through you. She was right. You abandoned Moradin, but Moradin did not abandon you. And when you asked for his aid, Moradin answered. And you are able to do whatever clerics do.
So yeah, I'll prepare my spells now.
There you go.
Okay, so I'll do that and then eventually join the rest of the gang.
Holy smokes!
So the rest of you all eventually join in the galley, enjoying a nice breakfast.
Hark!
All of a sudden, you find yourselves in the Feywild.
Well, so I'm gonna to spend a few hours having messed with my gear, and then I'll just be gone for the day.
Okay.
Not really doing anything exciting. I'm just removing myself.
I'm just on the deck in my Sylvan attire, just sunbathing, minor illusioning some sunglasses on my face.
There you go.
Got a fancy, fruity alcoholic beverage that they keep funneling me. And
There you go.
Just laying there.
Yardstick
Lumi's
margarita.
beside
Yard
me.
marks,
She's
baby.
got sunglasses on too, and her little pixie bikini.
There you go.
A tiny little fruity drink that she is drinking, and we're just.
Annulin, how about you?
Annulin's next to me on the other. I'm just kidding.
I would have sat there in my leathers and sweat for a few minutes and then just gotten up and walked away.
Okay.
So I'm gonna walk into town, and if it's not totally destroyed and has someone manned, I would like to go to somewhere I can send an owl with a letter.
I would say that you find there are several various posts, and there is a freight area. You see a human man. He's got a brown coat, frock coat, and a bowler cap, and a big mustache and beard. And he walks up to you. What do you need, young lady?
I need to send a letter.
Oh, we got that. We got freight. We also got fucking letters. Where are you sending it to?
Oh, a ways
Fucking
away.
letters.
To my brother, a ways away.
Where's the ways away?
Where would he be right now? In
That's what I heard him.
Well, fucking
where is he? Where's Ronmir now?
Maka.
Okay. It's going to Maka. It's across.
Oh,
Long
Maka.
way.
Where do you think we're fucking going there, darling?
What? I couldn't hear you.
We ain't sending letters. We ain't getting no letters into Maka.
Why not?
Because they don't allow us normal folk to enter. Don't you look like you from there, girl.
Yeah. What am I supposed to do? I got a letter from there.
You can get them out. Find an owl or something, I don't know.
Where are the owls around here?
Darling, you are in Agway.
Oh my gosh. Well, can I at least borrow some paper that I don't intend to return?
That'll be 5 copper pieces.
5 copper
5
pieces?
copper pieces.
How about
Wes.
4? Because you've been very unhelpful. and a
5
little bit
pieces?
rude
I don't
about
got no
having a bad
owls,
day.
girl. Fucking.
Fine. And some ink, and I'm not paying for that.
That's included in the 5 copper. Take it, girl. And
Just
he
tell me
hands
it's
it.
free and give it to me.
It's included. And he hands you paper and a quill. And
Thank you, sir.
And
So I'm just gonna, hunch over his thing and kind of elbow my way and glare at him a little bit, and then I'm gonna write a letter.
he walks up to you as you're doing this, and he says, there's a bit of softness on him. Well, I feel fucking bad that I can't help you out, girl. But I don't know if you know, they ain't letting human folk or high elf folk or dwarf folk get in and out of Maka. I don't know if you knew that.
I didn't. What? Do you know why?
I don't know, but there's some hostility towards the civilized folk of the world, darling.
Okay. Well, thank you for telling me that, and I'm sorry I was rude.
For the record, too, he's not Bubba. But you can find out who he is in Avantris and Chill.
It's been a very long time. I apologize. Next time you show up, I'll be better.
So I'm gonna just write a letter. No deers, no nothing, but Ronmir.
Savage.
I know. It's just very uncouth. So I'm gonna say, I'm not the same quiet little sister that you used to know, Ronmir, and clearly you are not the brother that I used to know either. How could you abandon your family like this, and how could you abandon me? I don't like the path that the Thorn Mother has you on. Something's not right there. If you won't help me in Svarog, then you have to be able to help me somehow. So either send me something, teach me something, tell me something. But if you don't, my blood will be on your hands. And it has never mattered more than now. Your sister, Annulin.
Okay.
And I'll roll it up.
You roll it up.
Get it, girl.
And you know that at the very least, the last time you attempted to send something in Goalhaven, they were able to. But it has been a while since that's the case. But this gentleman seems to think that there's nothing in Ogway that would be able to send that. Okay. So I will say that is what you know. If you have that written out, send it to me on Facebook, please. So I may refer back to it. And you have that written up, and you have the knowledge that he gave you, and he says, well, I hope you're able to get that letter into Maka. I'm just saying it ain't been good for the freighters I've known. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I appreciate the information. I'll have to think on it a little bit. I'm sure I can get it there.
Good luck, young lady.
Thank
and
you.
He pulls off his hat and he bows to you and puts it back on. And you leave. You have your letter written. You're enjoying tanning. Avantris is enjoying just kind of walking around town. And you see that it's still somber. People are horrified. People are talking about what happened the previous evening. A massive, undead, stitched-together dragon face appearing in the clouds and talking to everybody.
Yeah, that's pretty fucked up.
People are horrified. People are absolutely petrified. And people are talking about it, and there's just a fear and a sorrow and a misery over this town. It seems this strange malaise as you walk around. Rodic, what are you doing?
I will walk out to the deck or wherever anyone would be congregated.
Yeah. Okay.
Are we all together?
You eventually
the
all
only person
convene.
There was me.
As the sun is setting, you all convene on the deck of the ship. You see Sylvia and Rhoda just kind of enjoying the sun as it's setting, and you know that Madame Zostra's tent is actually not that far from the harbor, and you can get there fairly quickly, but you enjoy some time to chat before you head out.
I'm just going to re-don all my armor and weapons. And
it is
cloak
now
and all that
perfectly
stuff.
polished and fixed, and you patched it up a little bit. You've polished Edward's final chapter. Really the first opportunity that you've had to actually take some time to polish it, and just, it is gleaming and gorgeous. There's all that hint of blue in the metal. And it's strange, and you're not even sure how it was made or what element of it is supernatural. Like, was it supernatural before Edward died? You're really not sure. But it's worked very well so far. You sheath it, and it feels right. Damn. And it feels even more right than when you had Venom Spine. You are all on the deck as the sun begins to set.
How was everyone's day?
I feel great.
You look a little pink.
Oh, that's the nicest thing you've ever said to me. Also, don't touch me there. It really hurts.
I have something I should tell you all.
Oh no.
Oh, God.
Are you alright? Are you sick?
No, quite the opposite.
You're gonna stay with us for longer?
Well, I was planning on it. I mean...
I've been waiting every day. I was like, one day he's gonna walk in, he's gonna be like, sorry guys, I have to go.
No, not yet. We're not going from 5 to 4 then to 3 right now. But as you know, Moradin's been helping us out a lot lately. He gave us that holy water and it helped us kill Alpha.
Yeah, that was amazing.
I was doing a wee bit of praying just this afternoon and, well, let me show you.
What's praying?
He's gonna show us.
Have you, well, I'll answer that in a bit.
Well, I'm just curious, because you know I have titania.
And, well, have you ever closed your eyes and just tried to kind of focus and speak your peace
Yeah, all
to
the time.
who you worship? That's what praying is.
Oh. What does it do?
At first I thought it didn't do anything.
Yeah, mine's never done anything at all.
And then I found out it can do this, and then my eyes flare up into like this raging like forge fire. And this, and there's like a huge clank of the sound of an anvil. And then what else is fun? And then
What else?
this, and then all the doors and like portholes of the boat fly open.
Oh no, there's a lock! There's a lock on the boat!
This is just a little trick, but Moradin seems to favor me a wee bit.
Are you a sorcerer now?
No. I think it's a wee bit similar to what Ganji used to be able to do.
So you have magic. You are like...
I have magic.
God, if Amulin starts doing anything weird too, I might have to be out of this. You guys are all too magic-y
Can
for
you
me.
come here for a minute?
I could.
And so I'll beckon him over and I'll grab his hand.
I'm proud of you. Magic is hard. And it takes a lot of strength and will to harness that power inside of you. And I know I gave you a lot of crap, Rodak.
You do.
But what I saw with that holy water was impressive. And if Moradin, you said?
Aye.
If he sees you in a favorable light, then so do I. Congratulations.
Oh, well, thank you. And hopefully, my goal in all of this is just hoping that we could find some way to get more help. And if Moradin's willing to help us out, then we need all the help we can get.
Yeah.
Sylvie, that was beautiful.
Oh, well, thank you. I meant it.
Sweet.
I'm just at a complete and total
I'll
loss.
turn my eyes off.
That's
And,
really cool. Can you teach me to do that thing with your eyes?
I don't know if I could teach you to do it.
Could you
but-
do it to my eyes?
No.
Oh, damn it.
I can do it to my eyes.
Can you heal me?
I can do this, and then all the torches on the boat get like really bright.
Wow.
And then I'll-
Wood! It's wood! It's made of wood!
Please don't burn down our
Tone
boat.
it down!
No, it's just...
This
Press
is...
digitation to snuff out all the candles.
Can you
That was cool, though.
Can you
Just,
heal me?
know.
I haven't done it yet, but I think so.
Well, don't do it now. I'm fine.
No. I feel like I'd be
Don't
spent
waste your
very easily.
resources.
I'm
You look
still
like
new at this.
You look like you're huffing and puffing. You should calm down a
I
bit.
do. Oh, this is already taking a lot out of me.
Yeah, don't Orpheus on us and start going
This-
all chaos magic.
This God stuff is for real.
Cool.
This is real stuff. I mean, I
It's
don't...
real.
Look, I don't pretend to know very much about any of that, but I'm this is all out of my knowledge range. I'm just pretty impressed by all of you.
Well, honestly,
Don't you start any of this on me.
Oh, I wouldn't dare to impress you.
Oh. Whoa.
She wouldn't dare to impress any of us.
She's getting sassy.
so-
I don't know if I like
I've
you
had a
anyway.
day, okay? I've had a
What
day.
happened?
Well, I don't remember. You remember when the owl came
Uh-huh.
and it brought a letter from my brother? Mm-hmm. Did I read you the letter?
I actually don't remember if you did or not.
No,
I think I
you
crumbled
did
it
not.
up.
You didn't share.
I
No.
don't think so. I know he made you mad though, and I didn't want to press you because I know how I felt when my brothers made me mad.
Yeah, well, he's just being a jerk, really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, brothers do
I
that.
don't know how to express my feelings properly. We didn't talk about feelings a lot in our family. But he is being a jerk. and he's wrapped up into this Thorn Mother group with all the rangers and the druids and all the different stuff, and I asked him for help, with our mother. It's not just my mother, it's our mother.
Wow.
And he's like,
No.
Wait, he told you no?
Yeah, I mean, we
His
were
own
all
mother.
there. His own mother, yeah. We asked for help, and he went to the Thorn Mother, and she said no. And
She's
he's
not
just
his
agreed.
mother.
Exactly.
It's just a title.
Thank
Jinx.
That was cute, but
I don't think it's cute at all. I think this is awful. So what happened today that make you so upset?
Well,
Did he get the letter today?
he's going to
no,
let
I've
her
had
just
the letter,
die?
and I've been...
We're not going to allow that to
Well, no,
happen.
we're not, but he's
He
fighting
said
with
that
that?
he wishes us luck, but the Thorn Mother says no, and we're gonna need a lot of help, but he can't come help with it.
I
Unbelievable.
got a bad feeling
And-
about her.
I do too.
Me
That's
too.
what I said, and I tried to send him a letter today.
Thorns hurt.
They do. Well, not me so much, because I can walk through them pretty easily.
But most
But
people.
I
You'll
went-
tell her that when you see her.
I don't know if I want to see her, but I worked up the nerve finally. I'd been holding on to this letter and stewing and thinking about it with eat stew, and I was just thinking on it for a very long time, and I went today to send him a letter, and I wrote it out, but the guy at the courier service said that they can't get letters into Mako where he is. They're not letting... Doesn't sound like anyone other than Wood Elves. Is that the... Okay, so only Wood Elves.
Is that normal?
I don't think so, no.
Would I have any
I
idea
had
about this
sent
place?
a letter before.
I would say that that you were originally very early on from Cygnus, which is the high elf
Still am.
capital. Yes, from across the lake of the Thorn
so
Wilds.
it's relatively close.
Well, it's a
the
massive
vast
lake
expanse,
that you're on,
sure.
and there's a huge lake, and then there's the massive Thorn Wilds, which is where most of the Wood Elves on this continent live.
And is that the capital city?
And then in the Thorn Wilds, then Maka is the capital city.
So I'd have at least heard about it.
You would have heard about Maka.
Okay, all right. So it's not all right. So I don't want my question to be ridiculous. So I would know that it would be weird that they'd only be allowing.
Yes.
Okay.
You would know that it's strange. You know that the Thorn Mother has very interesting views. And
Something seems off.
I think you would know that, right? Where she would have
Yeah, he
interesting
mentioned
views.
something in his letter that they were not worried about the fire giants and what was going on at Svarog. They were more... I crumpled it pretty good now. I don't know if I could read it, but it was, they're more worried about the other civilizations in the wilderness.
Well, I've met him. You want to scry on him?
Oh.
I mean, or I could also deliver your letter via Lumi. You just have to ask. She can carry
I
it.
want to get a letter to him.
She's invisible, so
Do you
hopefully
think
they
it's going
wouldn't
to
see
make
her.
it in? She just...
That's a long way.
That could take a
I guess she
long
blinks
time.
with it? Can she blink with the letter?
No, she just has to fly there. But, she...
I don't want to take her away from you that long.
That's okay.
I
I've got you guys.
I don't hate the scrying idea. I just think that we don't want to. As long as we don't have any way for it to be traced back to us, something just doesn't sound right here.
I think if I could find an owl, I could get it in, but they just don't really have them around here.
Oh, you just want an owl?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna look around the boat for a small creature that I can communicate with via speak with small beasts.
You look around, and you have to kind of go off down the gangplank, but you see a little wharf rat.
Okay, I'm gonna go up to it. And in that, I'm going to be basically saying, hello,
Always
friendly
been a
rat. I will provide you with an ample amount of cheese if you can find an amicable owl.
Oh God!
This is dangerous for you.
I'm
An
just
amicable
realizing.
owl, and if you can lead it with your sneaky rat body all the way back to the ship.
Make an animal
Tempted
handling
back with
and
your
persuasion
tasty
check
rat
with a
haunches.
very high DC.
So the animal handling
Oh my
is
God.
what you said first. So
You
I
got
will
double
do that.
digits. I see
apologize.
double digits.
It is, but I don't think it's going to be high enough. Animal
Up at
handling,
the
where the
top.
hell is it? So 14 for animal handling, and that was a 4, and a 13 for persuasion.
It looks at you and says, "Do you think I look suicidal, lady?"
was really hoping you do a Rizzo impression from the Muppets. It's so hard to do.
Where's Rizzo? He kind of is up here. He's a little up here. Oh, Gonzo! Where's he kind of... it's tough.
That's hard. Rizzo's hard. Rizzo's a tough one to do without hearing it.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while since I've heard Rizzo. Yeah, anyway, I'll try.
Next time.
I'll listen to some Rizzo videos for my TM trap.
It's a pretty good Rizzo. It's a tough one.
Thank you.
Rizzo's really hard.
I appreciate the consolation.
So I'll look back down at him and go, well, I mean, I didn't think that you were suicidal. I just, you look at all skin and bones there. I thought you could use some food. And if you can't run away from an owl, I guess you're going to die here on the wharf someday anyway. So what use are you to me?
Damn.
I would say just make a general animal handling check.
Oh, God,
He
I'm
still
so
declines,
bad
but
at
spins
those.
into an existential crisis.
Drowns
A
himself.
9.
Yeah.
I will say you're eventually
I'm coming,
able to
Mama.
find a seagull that lands down,
What's going on, guys?
and he says,
It's a party over here?
Mine.
no, what does Scuttle sound like from Little Mermaid? God damn it.
Oh, that one.
That's
Oh,
tough.
That's way back.
Oh, kind of sounds like this a
No.
little bit, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, it's,
No.
it's
He's
a
a little.
thingamajig.
He's a little higher and fuller and a little
It's a
goofier.
thing. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
He says, "Oh, I'm a seagull. I like to eat fish. I don't know. I can find an owl. What do I have to do?"
Mine. And so then I say, well, I can provide you with as many fish as you want for like a good 2 days. If you can find an owl, or if you could deliver this letter for us all the way in Maka.
Make a persuasion check and an animal handling check.
God damn it!
12 for persuasion and 7 for animal handling.
I'll say that he looks at you and says, "Well, the fish sounds fine. I'll deliver the letter. I'm a seagull."
Can I insight check the seagull?
You're not near there. And he'll say, "I'll deliver the letter."
He's gonna die.
No, he's gonna sound. I'm a seagull now. It sounds like this now.
That's good.
Annulin!
Yeah.
Look at this seagull!
What about him?
He said he's gonna deliver the letter for you if we give him fish.
Don't they eat trash?
I think you're thinking of pandas.
Not to interrupt this lovely conversation, but is the Thorn Mother gonna think that a seagull coming all the way to Maka is weird?
I don't know. I guess so.
If it's near the water.
I'm okay holding on to this a little longer, and maybe I can find a suitable bird.
I don't want to assume anything about the culture there and what the Thorn Mother might think, but
I mean, I think she'd be pretty accepting of anything natural, but a seagull might be a little out of place.
Well, you can find an owl or something in the swamp. I'm a seagull.
this is.
I think I'll take that seagull's advice.
You can
You
understand
can't understand him.
Mine. Yeah, the seagull doesn't want to do it, he said.
Do I get any fish?
No.
Ah, it's a living, and he flies off.
I hate all of this. I kid.
Anyways, seagull flies off. You feel
Thanks
like
for
you.
trying.
You're welcome. You can still send Lumi if you want.
You want to go find an owl?
No, not particularly. I want to go meet Madame Zostra and
We
find
do
out why
have an
she
appointment to
slapped
keep.
me.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
let's head
the
that
sun
way.
is the final rays of the sun, the purples and oranges of the sunset are disappearing behind the sun.
And the more
horizon.
darker it gets, the more likely we're going to find owls over seagulls.
That's true.
While we walk,
Thinking.
it's worth noting that creature, the clothing, the ability that he gave me is quite powerful. I used the other one more often than I'd like to admit, and it left me feeling pretty terrible each time. It was nauseating and dark. But this time, I felt powerful.
You did?
It was intoxicating.
I never tried mine before because I was so scared of it.
That might be because you signed a contract for it. The other one was a gift. So there's a give and take. Like nature, you know?
I'm okay with that.
Uh-oh. Let's go meet Madame Zostra. Avantris is turning into Orpheus.
What? No, I am nothing like that scumbag.
But that's the kind of thing he would have said when he first tasted power.
All I'm saying is that whatever we signed ourselves up for, we've gotten some pretty good help.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We're doing some big boy shit. That was pretty cool, by the way. Where you just kind of ran in there and made them all almost kill themselves.
Thank you.
I mean,
Yeah, that was neat.
That was great.
They had their brown pants on, so I wasn't sure what kind of effect it had on it, but I'm pretty sure it had the effect I'm thinking.
I high-five Sylvie.
You have an epic high five, and you all go meet Madame Zostra.
Yep. We go there.
So you make your
My
way.
eyes are just like fiery the whole time.
Rodek is enjoying his new cleric powers. You're all keeping an eye out for owls. You don't
I
hear
have so many
anything.
questions, and Avantris and chill.
The sun sets, and eventually you get to the alley where you see the playlist that I'm looking for. Here we go.
Look, there's a playlist over there.
I think that's the one that the god of the world is looking for.
You see, as night has set over
The
Ogway,
cutscene is loading.
the smell. He knows you, son of a bitch. You know. I don't have any cutscenes. It's fine. There's no more cutscenes tonight.
Spinning wheel.
There's no more cutscenes. You haven't. You gotta let the cutscene buffer. No, okay.
New player tip. When you want to try something in D&D, you must roll for it.
The cutscene is loading. No, there's no
I love the
cutscene.
loading tip.
Jesus Christ. As you all turn down the alley, night has fully settled. It's a gloomy evening as the putrid smell of the swamp still assaults your nostrils. Not quite nose blind to it. As you turn down the alley, you see that silver threaded tent. The glow coming from the entrance hole with the rolled up flap. You see the large sign that says Madame Zostra's Emporium of Mysterium.
Well,
Alright, let's head on in. I have the card.
And I'll hold it up, and then I'll just walk straight in.
As you walk in, you see a woman. Curly black hair beneath a silver hood. A streak of white, you remember, but an additional streak of white that seems to be a bit newer. Her face looks at you. She smiles. The motherly look to her face remains. There's some warmth there, but there are wrinkles. Almost as if she's aged more than you would have expected over the past several weeks.
Interesting.
Her piercing eyes stare at you as the round table in front of her with the silver tablecloth draped over. You see the human woman clasp her hands, and you see that she tries to keep her robes over it, but you can see the veins appearing in her hands as she smiles warmly, motherly at you. You have come, Sylvie Flickerwicket, and friends.
I
Sylvie got your card.
You did.
Yeah, you deck slapped me right in the face.
Yeah, got her good.
Harder this time than the last.
I'm glad my cards find you, child of the seven paths, child of the stars, child of her grandmother's love.
Moonchild.
Her eyes kind of glint for a moment, and she ignores it.
It's the best title.
As she leans forward and looks at all of you. You have stopped the death that loomed over Ogway, but only briefly. Is that true?
Yeah.
And we survived.
all 4 of you survived.
Yeah.
You rode into battle and emerged victorious.
Just like always.
Yeah.
Right.
Did the holy water prove useful?
It did. Thank you so
Incredibly
much.
so.
Yeah. Rodek now even has a connection with his god because of that.
We couldn't have done it without you.
Thank you.
Her eyes narrow and she gives a knowing smile at you, Rodek. And she peels back her lips a little bit and you see these yellowed teeth as she smiles at you and she nods and says, I am glad I was able to help rekindle the connection to Moradin.
Well, I do appreciate the subtle push in that direction.
It was all you. All you needed was a reminder, Rodek Stoneheart. But you do not need me to tell you that true death looms over this city.
We all saw it.
Smelled it too.
As you smell in this tent, and it was in your nostrils the entire time, you can't be sure if it's nose blind, if you're nose blind to it, but all you can smell is the fragrant incense of Madame Zostra's candles and herbs that she's burning. It seems to not be entering this tent. The foul, putrid scent that has followed you everywhere you've gone since Rugarul had appeared in the clouds. She leans forward and looks at all of you. Do you all know what you are up against?
There's a Draculich, and there's a Baron Samedi, and, well, I don't think we're up against him at least yet, but there's, I believe, a devil that is helping us.
A devil, you say?
Yeah.
What kind of devil, and how is he helping you? What did you give away?
I didn't give anything away. I thought you knew. You deck slapped me with a card that kind of looked like a devil.
How would I know you?
Because you're a fortune teller, you're clairvoyant, right?
I see what the cards and the crystal ball show me.
Well, I thought that's why you slapped me with that particular card.
What did the crystal ball show you?
It showed me the bat, afraid, covered in blood, ruined. She looks at you. Did he tell you lies? She narrows her eyes to you, Sylvie.
Did who tell us lies?
The vampire.
What kind of lies?
I got a reading that he would attempt to sway you to his side with horrible lies.
He did. He tried to, but I was not fooled by him.
I put my hands out.
You are too smart for that, Sylvie Flickerwick.
I know. He thought I was dumb. I'm not. Joke's on you, dead Dracula.
And he is dead, and you are not.
Yes. True.
That's the way we plan it.
But I did see something from the past where I was not there. All of you, a riverboat. A man shrouded in shadows. A shield. A cocoon of shadow protecting him. I saw this in my visions. And then I saw it again in the future. Far more powerful far more impenetrable. But a different man. Tall, thin, a face like a skull. A man standing, confident, but unreachable. Does this sound familiar?
Yes, that's Baron Samedi.
And what is this
He turned me into a
shield?
voodoo doll.
But here you stand, child.
Yeah.
He is a shadow. His physical form seemingly doesn't exist. His shadow's on a wall.
The man I saw was not a shadow. The man I saw had a form. But he was surrounded in the same shield he gifted to his henchmen, but stronger.
Does that mean Baron Samedi's coming to Hogway?
He intends to.
No.
He is not that far, but at the same time, he's unattainable.
How do we attain him? How do we stop him?
I have seen you in his realm. I have seen you in the land of shadow and death.
No, that can't be. No, I know.
But
No,
it
I
is
can't.
not I that gets you there. What I can assist with is his protection, his confidence, the shield, the cocoon of shadow. A Death Lord thinks he is untouchable, especially from mortals like you.
How can you help us?
You're just a fortune teller.
This is true, Sylvie Flickerwicket. But I am a fortune teller that has made many trades and collected many relics. She reaches beneath the table, and you hear a very slight jingling. You see a flash of gold as she pulls her hand. The robe falling down, you see deep blue veins running down her arm and her hands. She places a bell on a table. It seems to be brilliant gold, and it seems to be in the form of what looks like a goose of some kind. Strange looking goose. It sits on the table directly at the center. She looks down at it and then looks back at you. If you ring this bell, its sound will pierce through any shadow. All it takes is the tolling of the bell, and death itself can be defeated.
Seems like a pretty powerful artifact.
Only if you are facing what you four are facing.
If I'm sorry.
Please go.
Speak your mind, Avantris, true-strike friend of Sylvie Flickerwicket.
If I may be so bold, it sounds as if you're saying that this man who you saw that has a physical form is somewhere protected by some sort of shield. Is it possible that that is the real Samadhi and all of these shadows that we've seen is him just projecting himself into our plane?
Her eyes kind of gloss over momentarily. And they focus back again on you. You meet the Shadow Man in the realm of shadows, and you meet a man. Powerful, yes. He will think he is unstoppable. With what you have learned, with what you have achieved, you will teach him what it means to be humble.
So we were able to kill him?
Whatever you need to do, I did not see that far. But I saw your past, a man mourning his son, a dragon mourning his hatchling, enveloped in shadow, impassable. And I saw a different man. Not quite a man, as much as he looked it. In a same envelopment, far more powerful, far more impenetrable. I believe this. She gestures to the bell. Is the bell that tolls for death itself.
Who wants to take it?
I don't want to touch that thing.
Avantris.
I mean, we should probably just put it in the bag of holding, shouldn't we?
And I'll nod and I'll grab the bell.
It jingles slightly.
Just looks like a goose.
It looks like the form of its body is shaped with this, like, a strange goose that's sitting directly upwards. The body goes downward into this beautiful golden shape. I forget what the little thing is called, the little dangly bit of a bell. Apologize if
The dangly bit.
the hammer?
Hammer.
The hammer of the bell dangles slightly, and then where you may hold it is a strange looking goose head that almost looks like a swan.
Ooh. This was a goose kind of slash swan. Well, thank you.
Swoos.
Thank you again
Or
for
a
your help.
guan.
It's...
Swoops.
Why are you doing this? I mean... Are you just trying to protect the town?
I see what the cards tell me. I see what the crystal ball tells me. I consult my collections and see if I am able to assist you, Sylvie Flickerwicket. Your destiny lies in the land of realm and shadow.
No, it doesn't. My destiny lies in the realm of Fey and Frolic. Yep.
We all may learn where your destiny may lie. But I believe that bell will help. It is all I can offer.
Again, you've been more help than we could have ever imagined. We appreciate it.
I wish there was more I could do. But I saw in the darkness. She closes her eyes. The man in the shadow, gnashing teeth, rum, writhing,
What kind of teeth?
sharp, gnashing teeth.
Were they made of iron?
No. Thank you for the follow, the sub, Papa Trail Dog.
Thank you.
The teeth of a dragon,
Yeah, that would make sense.
gnashing maw, rum swallowed. I saw a bat destroyed, a chalice, and worst of all, the wriggling, writhing, evil from below.
So, I know that you like to really talk in these strange flowery words, but would you say that you want us to go to the Shadowfell and ring a bell?
What I want is not important, Sylvie Flickerwicket. It is what I have seen. I have seen the Shadow Man made a man.
So we have to stop him before he becomes a man. I'm not
No,
smart.
we have to go to the Shadowfell and he'll be an actual
I think
man.
I think he's there.
He'll be a human man.
I
So we
think
have to go back to the cemetery.
at some point.
No,
The cemetery is not your path.
Well, then what is our path?
I see a great bough, great draping canopies, the willow, water, black water. I see you crossing through. Deep in the swamp. You! When you leave here, you will not leave your quarters past sundown. You will wait. And your guidance will come. I have seen it. Her eyes return to herself after glossing over for a moment. You will walk freely and safely in the day, but at night you will be safe in your quarters. And you will wait. She closes her eyes, slumps forward a little bit. That is all I see. I'm sorry.
You've told us a lot.
so you don't see us going back to Gullhaven.
What I see in the day, I see nothing in the day. I see tomorrow, sundown. You safely in your quarters.
You said I would find my destiny there.
It is Sylvie Flickerwicket.
Okay.
I see you. I see your essence.
Does she need me? Is she in danger? Is that why she doesn't talk to me anymore?
She needs you, Sylvie Flickerwicket. more than you could know. She needs you so desperately. And it is the land of death in shadow, where you will give her exactly what she needs.
Thank you, Madam Zastra.
Good
Thank
luck.
you.
Thank you for being the saviors that this world needs.
I won't let her down.
Before we go, I need to ask you, what do you know about the evil from below?
I see nothing but tentacles, wriggling and writhing in the darkness. Huge legs.
Tentacles and legs.
Seems like a redundancy.
No, tentacles aren't legs.
And I feel the evil.
Oh, school must have been terrible.
I feel it in my very soul. I wish I saw more.
I think there's something bigger at play, but we'll carry on.
Madam
Meet our
Zastra,
destiny. Sorry.
I hope you don't mind me asking, but
Child.
you seem a little tireder than the last time we saw you. Your hand's a little frailer. Are you okay?
I am a woman that is trying to make the best of her later years, child. And the stress and the strain of so much that I have seen. If you could see what I have seen, child, I hope you would not feel how I do. There's a level of exhaustion on her face I think that all of you would be able to see.
Well, we'll heed your advice and your warnings. And thank you again for your invaluable assistance.
Thank you.
I wish there was more. The bell, the ring, in the tolling of the bell lies salvation. In the land of death and shadow lies your destiny, Sylvie Flickerwick.
I will not let her down.
You will not, I know. I see it in your soul, you will not let her down. I see in my visions you will not. Tomorrow, sunset, the night is poison. You will stay and wait.
We will stay and wait.
You will know when you can leave.
We will know when we can leave.
Understood.
She leans back a little bit, catches herself. Her eyes return. She looks around. Go find your destiny, Sylvie Flickerwicket. And the rest, ride into battle with no regrets.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. And she kind of lowers her head and her hood falls over her eyes. And you all leave Madame Zastra's tent. And you make your way back to the Knight's Patience. And as you settle down, all of you feel a very strange level of comfort as you all drift to sleep. And that is where we'll end the session.
Alright. Ooh, that's heavy.
So,
Yeah.
if you're a sub, you'll be able to see what everyone thought about this session.
Oh,
and
we're gonna
discuss.
talk about some good stuff.
There's going to be a lot of chatter.
If you're a schlub.
If you're a
It's gonna be
slub,
juicy.
so Rich will be recording this immediately after this. Rich will be uploading it as soon as we're done, so you'll be able to see it tonight if you're staying up late.
Yeah, 2 nights.
We appreciate you. This Saturday is Beneath Dark Wings, which I'll be DMing
Is it?
because I hate myself.
Oh.
Yeah. And it'll be a good one, guys. I mean, maybe. Who knows? Who the
It's
fuck
all
knows?
of us at the table.
Yeah.
Everybody?
It's gonna be interesting
Yes.
after last session.
And if you want to see something interesting, tune in on Tuesday for Call of the Feywild, where our party is level 20 and going up against Oberon, the Lord of the Wild Hunt, in
Yeah.
a challenge to the death.
I'm going to fuck everything up.
All right.
Well, I have plans
Well,
up my
that's
sleeve,
interesting.
but I've not told chat or viewers what I plan on doing as Gricko, so you will learn.
Nice.
So, with that, we're going to be rating Dice Ministry. So please spread the love of the Avantris fam.
Shay Hooters,
We love you guys. Hopefully you spread the love. Spread the welcoming vibes of the Avantris fam, Flasher Hooters, and the like. So with that, we will see you on Saturday.
See you Saturday.
See you guys.
All right, bye. Bye.